Grim blood. Yeah, bruv. The game ain't hard when you got the trump card. It's all rigged and I'm calling more games than Bob Uecker. Changing the outcomes like Duke Nukem to a new future. Win some, lose some, bag some, choose none. Will the aliens come save the day? Are we going to listen to what they say? The uranium, cranium, aliens popping up like circadians. Got me spontaneously training in the Palladium gymnasium. Ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean and Sylvanians. Bloodlines, overtime, dragon descendants. Scripting bread and circus lizards in attendance. Serpent queens, breaking dreams, dragging me down. The underworld royalty is all about how much you can clown. I'm talking about the number 9-2. If you didn't know, well now you do. Numerous fears, what's in the hearse? I am who I am, man with a plan. Where you at with the rebellion? 1 in a million, us against a billionaire reptilians. Look at the word rebellion, spells out the same as the rebel lion. Ain't even trying, ain't living, you're dying. Well done to the skeleton, no time for the bellion. Strawmen led by spellmen, dialectic Hegelian. Everyone's worked up waiting for the aliens. Problem, reaction, solution, little contribution. The script tells that they cast spells like nuclear fusion. Spreading confusion, lie distribution. Old as hell, ain't even some new shit.
Will the radium, cranium, aliens popping up like circadians. Got me spontaneously training in the Palladium gymnasium. Ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean Transylvanians.
The uranium, cranium, aliens popping up like circadians. Got me spontaneously training in the Palladium gymnasium. Ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean Transylvanians. Will the aliens come save the day? Are we gonna listen to what they say?
Welcome back, ballers, to another episode 83 of Eye to Eye with AJ, Rambo, and Cody, and another very special guest, Myron Davis. He got game. You can find him on Instagram. First and foremost, Rambo, Cody, Myron, can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can hear you guys as well. Perfect. We're going to dive right into it. As always, we are fashionably late, but worth the wait. My name is AJ, Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's in Ball. You guys can find all of my work on Instagram and YouTube. This particular channel where we're streaming from tonight. Just want to thank Rambo, Myron, and Cody for joining tonight, as well as everybody in the chat. We're going to have a great time. I also have a Patreon link for those that are interested in sports picks and leans and notes and things like that before game time. We're going to have a lot of fun later this week in the biggest, busiest time of the year with March Madness. So make sure to give me a shot with that. I'm going to pass things off to Cody for a quick introduction.
Yeah, thank you, AJ, again for putting this on. And thank you to Rambo, as always, for being here, and Myron for being here. Glad to be with both of you, or with all you guys. And also thank you to everyone in the chat for being here. If you guys want to find me, as usual, you can find me at Decoding with Cody on YouTube. And then the donation link for me, if you'd like, is buymeacoffee.com/decoding with Cody. And I look forward to this stream for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Codes. As we say every week, man, seriously, it means so much to us for the sacrifices you make to get up early or stay up late on any given week to hang out with us, and all the work that you do, man. I'm excited.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
Rambo, my man,
Yeah, thank you again, AJ, for putting this together. And thank you for promoting my work and providing this platform. Thank you, Cody, again for your great knowledge, and Myron as well for being here. I mean, he knows he's gotten the great feedback whenever he's been on. So it is an honor to be with all three of you. And this is where I can be found. Patreon.com/the truth codes. It's one tier, just one tier. That's all $5 a month. And you have access to the Codebreaker community Discord server. And in my presentation today, I'll show some of the amazing decodes that I got from contributions on my Discord server. So those who are in my community who have contributed to Discord in the comments, I thank them a lot because that truly enhances the work. I've learned a lot from them. They learn a lot from each other, and I'm very thankful to have that community. So I thank them. I'm also on Instagram.com/the truth codes.
We appreciate you as always, Rambo. Means so much to us to have you in our corner every single week. So thank you again. I'm really looking forward to this stream, especially with kind of our pre-call on the back end. But we're gonna dive right into it. But first, oh, here we go. I found it, Myron. Here we go. Here's a visual for everybody. Myron, quick introduction to yourself. I'm gonna yield a lot of my time to Myron because he's got some great stuff to share with the community tonight, especially as we're streaming during St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, Myron, how you doing, man?
Great. Always a pleasure to be around you guys. Thanks for having me again. Just a quick intro. You can find my work. I really only post on Instagram. That's my handle. It's He Got Game, H3 GOTTGAME. I mean GAM3 _. I have a lot of posts and collabs, a lot with AJ. Just again, always honored to be in this platform and space. You guys always sharing a plethora of information, and I just love learning from you guys. So thanks again for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you, Myron. Seriously, thank you so much, man, for carving out some time to hang out with us. But like we talked about on the back end, Cody, I'm going to pass things off to you, brother.
Okay, sweet. I'm ready. Let me get my thing up here. So let me just start by saying, so the news today is kind of mind blowing. I don't know if I guess most of you subscribers in the chat remember in November last year, I was live on the channel when I had revealed in the middle of the stream that I had placed a bet on a hockey player to score a goal because he was wearing the number 17 that night, and he was 1,700 weeks old. And it was all connected to John Cena, who had become the 17th time champion in Vegas a few months earlier in April last year. And this guy just happened to have the same birthday as John Cena's 17-time champion win. And he's playing for Vegas, where John Cena won his 17th championship. I had made a bet for this guy to score, and now what's blowing my mind is 17 weeks later, guys. So let me just pull up my slide from back then. So here's my video, actually. So Ben Hutton, oh yeah, I even forgot. He was a 1,700 odds to score a goal on the Ohio Sportsbook. I had just been betting for a few weeks at that time. I'm not a bettor normally. In fact, I was just betting to try to make a bit of extra money at the time. And then I had found this guy was going to be 1,700 weeks old, and his betting odds was plus 1,700, and the word goal equals 17. It was 153 days after his birthday, which is the 17th triangular number. And he ended up scoring that goal that night. And I won the money, of course. And he scored the goal on his 17th shot of the game. And so, guys, again, this was the Ohio Sportsbook. And Ohio's the 17th state. And, I even live on a street called 117. And 17 was already my lucky number. But this night it became my even more lucky number. But now 17 weeks later, exactly 17 weeks after that whole 17 thing with me, we get this story. NASA confirms boom in Ohio was actually a 1,700-pound meteor hitting Ohio today, the 17th state, on the 17th day of the month, exactly 17 days after Ohio's birthday. And today leaves 289 days in the year, which is 17 times 17. And the player who scored the goal 17 weeks ago, of course, is now 17 weeks old. Exactly. And this is not extra days, guys. He's exactly 17 weeks old today. And it was exactly 17 weeks ago that I bet 17, plus 1,700 odds. It's just absolutely wild. On top of that, I bet $44.17 on that bet. And look how fast they say the meteor was traveling. It was a 1,700-pound meteor traveling 44,000 miles per hour. Are you coding me? That's my new catchphrase. But like what is going on here? Like, I know you guys remember, like, this was one of my biggest synchronicities ever. This was also 153 days from when I made this bet. It was 153 days before my birthday or after my birthday. Or what was it? I can't remember now. I had some sort of 17 connection to this as well when this happened. But now, like, in the state I grew up in, where my dad was born, near Cleveland, this meteor hit near Cleveland, which is also going to connect to what Myron's going to talk about later with me having King James' birthday and LeBron James getting ready to pass LeBron James' record. So this is just weirdly organically connected to me and what I just did. I mean, what are the odds of all that? Like, it's like, how often do you even hear of a meteor hitting Earth, let alone a 1,700-pound meteor hitting the 17th state 17 weeks after I made a sportsbook bet in the 17th state? And then there just happened to say it's going 4,400 miles an hour, which that's literally the bet that I made, $44.17. So I don't really even know what to say, but like, that's just kind of, and of course, even what this connects with me too, because when John Cena won his 17-time championship, which is what started all this, which what made me make this connection to begin with, it was against the wrestler that connects to me, Cody Rhodes. And of course, Myron comes in with this thing today. He's going to be talking about Cody Rhodes. And RAMBO is going to be talking about Jordan. And funny enough, last year when Cody Rhodes, there was a blackout in Cuba connected to Cody Rhodes, I also talked about Michael Jordan. And remember, Michael Jordan was drafted on my birthday exactly 6 years before I was born, on King James' birthday. And my first word was basketball, which, was basically because as a kid, I was also growing up in the middle of Michael Jordan's hey year. So I was really into basketball, but as a little kid. But
Cody, speaking of which, really quick, since we're on the subject and what you have shared on the screen, what caused the boom, AKA the BAM, right? Just last week, we had, like, during our stream was when that whole record breaking of 83 points with Bam Adebayo, and we were looking at the logo of the Miami Heat, which looks like a meteor, doesn't it? Right? Yeah,
and I had mentioned that. Remember, right after we found that live, I was like the first one to mention. I thought it was all about meteors, and now here we are 7 days later, right? And 17 is the 7th prime number. Like, like what is going on here? Like, this is just really weird. And 17 is a number that has this weird, organic, strange connection with me in general. I've had a lot of things happen in my past, years that have connected with this number. And now just this interest. And Bam Adebayo, like you said, he when he broke that that record, it was, with the Miami Heat. LeBron James used to play for the Heat, and LeBron James connects to me personally because of the King James stuff. So, and remember, I forget, but I shared with you, AJ, before that I have a really crazy connection with LeBron and King James. I can't even remember the measurements now, but I have some sort of connection with him. Maybe I'll look for him and bring it up later, but I'll let you guys get to your stuff. But it's just crazy too that all the stuff you guys are going to be talking about now, I mean, Myron and Rambo are actually going to tie to this as well, with the LeBron James, the Michael Jordan, the Cody Rhodes, all kind of ties to this riddle with me and this. So it's just like what Widow's Son often says, Sean. This organic code is can be sometimes just leave you speechless, and I'm just speechless from this. Like, I mean, I'm not speechless because I'm speaking, but I mean, I really don't know what to say about how this played out.
The only other thing I'm going to say, Cody, is you and I are directly connected as well with that 17, because my birthday, right, on Sunday is the date written 15/3, the 17th triangular number.
Exactly. And we're born the same year.
Exactly. And I also lived in Ohio. I lived in the Cincinnati Blue Ash area for a couple of years when I was a child. And all those kinds of things. But yeah.
Now and then all your connections with Arizona as well, like Arizona, there's a bit of a argument about Ohio actually being the 48th state because they didn't, something happened with the actual official parts of it, you've heard that, right? Where Arizona could actually, or Ohio should actually be the 48th state like Arizona is now, because Ohio didn't, I don't remember exactly what happened, but Ohio didn't actually file the paperwork or something, and they actually didn't actually get admitted till later. So
I actually didn't know about that, but then you got the LeBron connection with his son playing at Arizona, my alma mater. So there's absolutely overlap between the two.
Yeah. I don't remember the details about that, but I do remember that is, and JD Vance. Yeah, this is a JD Vance thing, and because JD Vance could become the 48th president from Ohio. So there is that connection as well, and I think, anyway, this probably does connect the JD Vance to the meteor itself, being from Ohio. But anyway, that's all I had to share. I think that was just a good way to start it, because it was exactly 17 weeks ago, guys, that I brought this live to us as we were talking. I said, look, guys, he scored his goal. Remember, everyone, I know a lot of you guys remember that, and then it was exactly 7 days ago that we talked about the meteor. It's just really weird.
Yeah, no, that was a great opener, Cody. Thank you so much, man. I guess, but before we pass things off for Rambo's segment, Myron, was there anything that you wanted to, I don't know, any other 2 cents just with what Cody shared with the meteor, and any of that?
Just his 17s, of course. The 17s always stood out to me. A little bit of what I'll get into later, but I always link the LeBron piece, because I am covering the King James Bible. It came out in the 17th century. Of course, LeBron being from the 17th state. The Lakers' first home arena was the Great Western Forum, which has LeBron's birthday, and that came out 17 years before LeBron was born. So he was born 17 years later, came from the 17th state to Los Angeles to win then their 17th championship from the 17th state, and then his whole entire career is based on the King James Bible, which it came out in the 17th century. So always the 17s. That's what stood out to me the most when Cody was talking about all the 17s aligning.
That's a great addition. Those are great additions to tie it all. I mean, to make it even more mind blowing, just my connections with LeBron in general and King James, and then that stuff. I didn't even. Well, I think maybe I've known that, but I didn't know all in detail. So that's a great addition. And I should say too, I forgot the whole 76 part, but today is the 76th day of the year, which is, think about the year 1776. Today is the 17th day of Ohio's age and the 76th day of the year, 1776. And remember when John Cena retired, going back to John Cena, he was 1776, 6 days old or something like that last year on the day he got retired. which, and then remember Pearl Harbor was, on Pearl Harbor, John Cena was 1776 days old, which was the same day the United States was 9/11/01 days. And that's the day I landed at 9/11 in Washington, D.C. Like I didn't even plan that, guys. Like literally did not plan. I mean, I didn't even want to fly on December 7th.
You didn't go to the pilot and say, hey, can you do a lap around the airport really quick to make sure that we land at 9/11?
Yeah, no, like I told you guys before I took off, I didn't even want to fly on that day because it was 9/11/01 days after the United States was founded, and I was trying to just like go another day, but that was the cheapest day and the only day my mom could take me. So I ended up flying that day, and I knew all about this. And then I was sitting next to this girl on the plane. Speaking of flying, I know Rambo's going to talk about that, but she saw I was taking a picture of the time that we landed on the screen in front of me, and she was curious about what I was doing because it was kind of weird. And I just told her I thought it was interesting. We landed at exactly 9:11 p.m. in Washington, D.C. So yeah, again, all these organic things that happen, it's just crazy. And I don't know how it happens like it does, but it's just, I mean, I'm sure that if this was a real meteor or whatever, I'm sure that the elites didn't plan this meteor to hit 17 weeks after, because they're like, oh, Cody made the 17 bet 17 weeks ago. But I'm sure that it's part of the organic power of this matrix that we're living in. So
yeah, Cody, the last thing I'll say, and we'll pass it to Rambo. Betty reminded me of the stuff you and I had done on some one-on-one collabs about the whole love themes, and Ohio is for lovers, right? There's that song Ohio is for Lovers by Hawthorne Heights. What is it again? Ohio is called the heart of it all, or something like that. And yes, Arizona, the state of Arizona is founded on Valentine's Day. So love, brother. My dog Cooper, his brother is Cody. It's like, dude, it's all right there. It's all in the stars.
Yeah, and that's kind of the craziest part, is just how all the seven, and then knowing that you're born on 15/3, which is the 17th triangular number, and again born the same year as me. I can't remember how many days we're born apart now.
Yeah, we'll revisit that.
But
you can pull it up. But Rambo's been very patient as always. Rambo, I'm going to give you the stage here. And I know that a lot of this is going to overlap and coincide and fit perfectly. So,
I actually, it's off the topic, but it is related to the 17. The 17, from where I've seen it manifest, is with the divine feminine, and dove is 17. That's like the key value, and how that kind of ties into the meteor is so Venus is said to be a comet. It started off as a comet, which came into the solar system and lodged where it is now. So Venus is a comet. And in astrotheology, because a lot of religions are based on astrotheology, you can look at the work of Santos Bonacci. He's done a lot on that, and Jordan Maxwell. How the main religions of the world are based on astrotheology. Judaism, Saturn; Christianity, the sun; Islam, Venus; Buddhism, Mercury. And in fact, the Prophet Muhammad named his daughter after Venus, Zahra. Zahra is Venus, means the shining one, the brilliant one, after Venus. Sometimes they will symbolically persecute Islam. It's actually much deeper. They're actually persecuting Venus. And Venus came in as a comet. On the Kaaba, which is the holy site in Mecca, on the eastern, and east it's associated with the feminine, the eastern star, Ishtar. On the eastern corner of the Kaaba, there's a black stone. It's a meteor. So that's why this meteor is related. It actually is related to, especially in Islam, the black stone on the eastern corner of the Kaaba was a meteor. That's where the meteor comes in. And so 17 is dove. The dove is a divine feminine symbol. Stevie Nicks, who was Fleetwood Mac. She actually went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Ohio. She's in there twice with Fleetwood Mac and as a solo artist. That's Stevie Nicks. She did a song. The chorus is just like the white winged dove sings the song. Just sounds like she's singing. Well, Dove is 17 in Gematria. The title of that song is Edge of 17. So with the Meteor and Divine Feminine, that's actually where 17 actually applies as well.
Oh, I like that. And shout out to Golden Age really quick. Cody, Golden Age did the measurement for us. Our birthdays are 96 days apart, which is the 71st composite, reverse of 17. Thank you, Golden, for that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, and I was looking at that too, and yeah, that's interesting with the 71 being the reverse. But yeah, like that's, you know, it's crazy that we're born so close apart. So
but yeah, Rambo, once again, let me get you the stage here.
Yeah, so it's
unless there was anything else you wanted to chime in before we dive into
on the 17 and the Meteor, that's very heavy divine feminine coding. So that's what I wanted to point out. That's why the magazine for young teenage girls in the United States, the magazine is called 17. Why not 16? Because Sweet 16 is a milestone in the American tradition. But the magazine is 17. It's because Dove is 17 in Gematria, and it's a divine feminine number.
Hence Dancing Queen, right? Dancing Queen, young and sweet,
only. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, that's a great example. Great example. Yeah, that's not right. Great example. This some people don't know that's from ABBA. So I'm impressed that someone your age knows that song. I'm impressed.
my mom was obsessed. She played it every day for like 5 years.
Yeah, so it's 4 minutes of 53. It's roughly 5 minutes of video. One is an intro, which the intro is, you can see most of the intro, I guess, for free, but it's to a long written decode on the Bam Adebayo breaking Kobe Bryant's record. I have a lot on that. The symbolism there is just, there's so much. Who knows if I'll ever even be able to put it all out. So it's an intro to the long written decode, which is on Patreon for patrons. And then the last 2 minutes and change is from my latest Instagram post, which is about something we talked about. It's something that comes up a lot. NASA and its exploration of Mars, which has been questioned, but debunkers, conspiracy theorists are constantly being debunked as far as claiming that the rovers are not really on Mars or on Earth. So what I'm presenting on my Instagram, you can go to my Instagram and see Instagram.com/thetruthcodes. You never see them address this issue. So those are the two things I'm going to present.
Get that popcorn ready. Thank you, Rambo, for this. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Okay, there are issues. I'm like,
maybe you can hit the play button on the far right side. There's that like white circle.
There's no sound.
Do you see? Oh, you know what, Rambo? It could be because you didn't hit that little blue, that little button at the very bottom. I'm a victim of it too. If you wouldn't mind, just I'm going to remove your screen, and if you can just re-request or unshare your screen, and then do exactly what you just did, but before you hit share, on the very bottom right corner, there's going to be a little tab button that you need to click to make sure that the audio is being shared.
I never had this problem before. I used to just blue button. I see a blue button. It says need help. I see the chat.
Well, when you click, like, if you're going to do full screen or whatever, it doesn't matter. Once you select what you're going to share, at the very bottom right corner, there's a little tab.
Oh, a tab. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a button. Like, it's like when you click it, The little circle.
It looks like it was on.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, I'll see what happens.
We'll give it another shot. Open Up also said, if the video's not playing, you can refresh the Patreon page really quick.
Yeah, well, I could log off and log back on. Because that's funny. This hasn't been a problem before.
No, definitely the first.
Yeah, the blue button's on.
Okay, good.
I don't know. Maybe that NASA stuff, they don't like that being out there.
Could be.
Because they don't debunk that. They debunk all that, but not this. But so is it okay? Well, the blue button was on. Let me see.
Okay, here we go.
Nah, there's still no volume. Yeah, there's no volume for some reason.
Hit play again really quick.
The picture.
There we go. There you go. All right, we're back in business.
It looks like there's the sound isn't in the beginning for some reason.
We'll give it a second.
The thing is, remember before the show started, I uploaded it really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something had to do. Okay, I might have to skip the BAM thing. It looks like it's a BAM thing. I guess they didn't want you to see. All right. All right. Well, I'll just go with what we got here, which is wherever the sound starts. That's where. Unfortunately. Anyway, if you want to see this, it's on Patreon. The BAM Adebayo.
Yeah, it's already up, right?
It is up, yes. But
okay.
I'm just going to show the intro, but this isn't. I think the sound will be available for. Mars has been in focus since Mars is the Roman god of war. Jack Parsons has been in focus since he's the co-founder of JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs, aka Jack Parsons Labs, a father of rocketry and an occultist who did his best to invoke the Antichrist, which is also in focus as Peter Thiel is on a world Antichrist speech tour. NASA has a training facility on Devon Island, Canada, specifically for Mars missions, because the climate and geology of Devon Island is believed to be the most similar place on.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So to make sure that we're preserving the entire work that you want to present, I just pulled it up on, since I follow you on Patreon, I just started it, and the volume does seem to be working on my end. So let me try it on my end.
Okay, so you can play it on your end. Yeah, thanks.
I think so. Yeah. Hold on. Let me.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Here we go. Hold on a second.
That was good thinking. Good idea. I never thought of that.
I just got to triple check here that I actually hit that little button that KODI taught me about. Share screen. Tap. Okay, it's on. Good to go. Add to state. Oh. Got to remove yours, add mine. Sound check really quick. You guys hear this?
Which was uploaded on February. Yeah, I hear it.
You guys hear that? Okay, cool. All right, we're in business.
Well, thanks. Here are some excerpts from Fire and Ice, which was uploaded on February 22nd, 2026. The Tower Tarot card represents the planet Mars. The tower of the planet Mars is the tallest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, which is 3.5 times the height of Mount Everest. The name of the Roman god, Vulcan, is the root of the English word volcano. Team Canada's head coach, John Cooper, born on Vulcanalia, Roman Vulcan Celebration Day. Volcano like Mount Doom, the volcano in the classic fantasy book and movie adaptation Lord of the Rings. Saturn is the Lord of the Rings. Volcano, Vulcan, is the god of industry, technology, AI, the Roman god of fire. Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat, and think of how volcanoes give off heat, scored 83 points to eclipse Kobe Bryant's 81 points as the second highest single game point tally by an individual player in the history of the National Basketball Association. Kobe Bryant was born on the celebration date of the fire volcano god of Rome, Vulcan, Vulcanalia, August 23rd. On March 10th, 2026, Bam Adebayo set an NBA record #1 all-time for the most free throw attempts in a single game. That number was 43. From the United States Geological Survey, quote, the onset of episode 43, fountaining of the ongoing Halema Umau eruption at the summit of Kilauea, occurred at 9:17 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time on March 10th, 2026, unquote. Kilauea's eruption on the day that Bam Adebayo set an NBA record of 43 free throw attempts was episode 43. And Bam Adebayo also had 43 field goal attempts. He also had a Miami Heat franchise record, 43 points in the first half. So 43 field goal attempts, 43 free throws, 43 at the half on the day of Kilauea's episode/phase 43. And what are the odds that Yahoo Sports chose to use the word erupt? To describe Adebayo's performance. The reason that 43 was so stressed here on this grand ritual occasion, which centered on the volcano, is about Mars and the ultimate volcano, the tower. Roman Mars is derived from the Greek Ares. The letters that make up the name Ares sum to 43 in Gematria's simplest cipher, which is about war, which is easy to see at the time of March 10th, 2026. But also the tower is about sudden transformation and unveiling, which is why the Aleister Crowley, The Tower, has the eye. Revelation, hidden information coming to light, which is the definition of apocalypse from the Greek apokalypto, which is 120 in Francis Bacon Elizabethan Gematria, which is the birthday of Jeffrey Epstein.
I believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier. Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
This short video is an introduction to the broader decode. BAM, Mars, and Fire and Ice Revisited is the title. The full decode is a text and graphic decode with links to articles and information below this intro video. Thank you so much for watching, reading, and supporting. Yeah, thanks. So, yeah,
Rambo, at some point I would love to see a motion picture of yours. You know, I would gladly sit in a movie theater for 4 hours and just watch just the most amazing dude, that was unbelievable, man. Can we get some shout outs in the chat? I mean, we got the usuals, Betty, Maggie. I mean, I have to say for a second, Rambo, that was incredible. All your work always is incredible, but thank you for, giving the viewers for free a 5-minute, 6-minute excerpt of what you've been doing. And I didn't say this earlier, but once again, you guys, all of that content is for $5 a month on his Patreon page. and the link is in the description below. So I just wanted to emphasize that. Thank you again so much, Rambo, for that. At It's Not the Jesuit says Rambo is a young James Earl Jones voice right now.
That's a huge compliment. That's a really huge compliment. Yeah, thanks.
No, it is. Trust me, man. Like your work is fantastic. So thank you again for sharing.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work to do the research. It takes several days of research. Honestly, I didn't know all that. I'm not a volcanologist. I didn't know about an episode that had episodes for eruptions. I didn't know any about that. I had to, like, in the process of looking into it, then I saw episode 43. That's a thing in geology. I didn't know that. So it takes several days, honestly, just to accumulate information, then write it out, arrange the information, write it out, narrate it, edit the audio. Once I have the edited audio, look for then attach images, add videos. I have to look for the videos. Sometimes I have to make the images. Yeah, it is a lot of work. Even something like that, which is what was it? It was like 3 minutes or so. I mean, that's a lot of hours. So that's like a whole day of work, honestly.
Oh, this was a 6-minute video, Rambo.
Okay, 6. Okay, I lost track.
Yeah,
So,
for me, I know Myron and Cody, same thing. I mean, like, we can all attest to that, and I know most people in the chat understand that. It's one thing to do the research, find the knowledge, put it together, then organize it in a way to share the information where it can make sense to most people, right? And then to take it another level with all the visuals you do and the narration. I mean, my goodness, man, seriously, it's just unbelievable work you do. Seriously.
thanks. So I have this one now. The one I was going to have queued up here is it's actually on Instagram. So if you want to see this, if you see it now, I guess there's no point. But this is the type of thing I put on Instagram. This is up on Instagram now, but it's very important because there are a lot of conspiracy theorists that these Mars rovers, and China has a Mars rover, that are landing on Mars are not actually on Mars, and the picture they send are not from Mars. Of course, NASA pushes back on it and says, oh, conspiracy theory. It's easy to just dismiss something using the phrase conspiracy theory. And I've looked at a lot of the debunking. And yes, sometimes people will take images and say that this is a NASA image when it's not a NASA image. The image I show in this video is a NASA image, and I just haven't seen this addressed. You'll see a bunch of debunking on the whole NASA, the false images from Mars. I haven't seen them address this. So this is on Instagram. It's actually part of the decode. It's a written decode. This is like, this is a video version. So it's just a couple minutes. Hopefully the sound will stay on the whole way. Mars is the Roman god of war. Jack Parsons has been in focus since he's the co-founder of JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs, aka Jack Parsons Labs, a father of rocketry and an occultist who did his best to invoke the Antichrist, which is also in focus as Peter Thiel is on a world Antichrist speech tour. NASA has a training facility on Devon Island, Canada, specifically for Mars missions, because the climate and geology of Devon Island is believed to be the most similar place on Earth to that of Mars. Multiple sources have been stating that official NASA rover footage of the surface of Mars has actually been taken on Devon Island, Canada. And of course, this has been roundly disputed as wild conspiracy theory. NASA would never lie. In 2012, NASA JPL published a picture taken from the Curiosity rover on Mars. Allegedly. I suspect that NASA did not notice it, but eagle-eyed citizens noted that a rock on Mars looked like an earthly rodent. The infamous Mars rat that NASA dismisses as pareidolia, a Martian rock that just looks like a rodent. Might there be any rodent species on Devon Island, as barren and desolate as it is? Yes, a web search reveals from Hinterland Who's Who website, quote, lemmings are mouse-like rodents that live in treeless areas of northern Canada. They have short ears, largely hidden in the fur, short legs, and short tails. This is a picture of a brown lemming on Devon Island, Canada, where NASA has a Mars mission base. Compare the brown lemming to the rock, quote unquote, on Mars, which is not a rock and is not on Mars.
So Rambo,
Yeah.
once again, amazing as well. I was going to chime in, but I wanted to let the video finish. That's a lemming. That's a rat, in my opinion. Like,
I think it's pretty straightforward. The thing is, it's a rodent that is specifically native to Devon Island, to the location where NASA has its Mars simulation. So it's not just any rodent. It's not just a rat or a squirrel. It is native to the specific location where NASA has a Mars simulation station. And people have noted that the pictures they take of Mars look exactly like Devon Island. They also could be using Greenland too, but we know they use, by their own admission, they use Devon Island. And if you look at the if you look at the images, I mean, clearly.
I mean, did you guys ever look up the slang term of what lemming means?
Yeah, a lemming is somebody who is blindly follows, doesn't think for themselves.
Well, exactly. Isn't that just like kind of ironic, considering that most people are blindly following and believing this, that this is a lemming here? Don't be a lemming. I just keep thinking that the whole time.
And so with that, you got to think that this was intentional, no?
The reason I don't think it was intentional, because if you see the original picture, yeah, maybe it was. That's the thing. We don't know. We can just guess.
Yeah.
If you see the original picture, I could see why they might not have noticed it. Because, so this is the thing. If you really took a photograph of Mars, if it really was taken from Mars, they would analyze every millimeter of that photograph because it's on Mars. And they want to see what anything with the geology, the topography, maybe life, maybe an insect or something, or remains of something. They would analyze. If this had really been taken from Mars, they wouldn't make that mistake because they would analyze that picture to death. The reason they didn't do it here, if you just look at the original picture, you wouldn't notice it because I think what happened is the lemming was perfectly still and it's camouflaged. You're seeing the blow-up picture, but if you look at the original picture where it's not blown up, there's no way, if that thing doesn't move, you can understand why nobody would see it. It was perfectly still, it blends in, you wouldn't see it. Now, the reason NASA didn't analyze the picture, the original picture, is because they knew it was from Earth. Therefore, to them, it was unremarkable. This is a picture from Earth, there's nothing to analyze. Unlike a picture from Mars, where you look at everything, like, well, what's on Mars? What's every little grain that's on Mars? No, I think they were sloppy because it was an Earth picture, so they just released it. And it's very important. JPL, NASA, Caltech, these are huge institutions, all put their name to that picture. So some of the pictures that they debunk for conspiracy are pictures that they say are not NASA pictures that people are saying are NASA pictures. No, NASA put their name to this one. And JPL and Caltech, which is, these are all institutions Jack Parsons worked for. He went to Caltech. JPL is Jack Parsons Labs. So yeah, you never really know. But I could see how they might have, because the lemming didn't move. You can't see. You see the original, like, I don't even know how some eagle-eyed person saw it. Like, so who knows? They might have been sloppy, but nonetheless, they do a lot of debunking, but they don't address this. So they say it's pareidolia. That's what they call it. But pareidolia that looks exactly like a species of rodent that's native to Devon Island.
Unbelievable, man. And yeah, is it two lemmings, or is it just one?
It's one.
Because if you zoom in, it almost looks like it's like another one. The one closest, I guess, to the camera kind of looks like the back end of a lemming. Like you emphasize the one in the middle, but I'm saying like that other one doesn't look much like a rock either. It looks kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, but the thing about the middle one,
that would be a big lemming, big
yeah,
butt.
the middle one is very
that one's obvious. Yeah,
definitive, and you can just see the little. It doesn't have the lemmings don't have. Oh, these lemmings anyway. They don't have long arms. I guess it's cold. You know, when it's cold, you want to kind of stay close to your body.
Right.
It has these really, really short legs. Like its feet are like really close to its body, and you can see that here. And it has these white feet. And that's exactly exactly how a lemming looks with the short legs, the white feet. So yeah, that's what it is. That picture I think was definitively. So this is the thing, it opens the door. So if NASA is going to lie about that, now we're open to speculation. Is there a Mars? Have you been to Mars, but you're not showing us the real pictures of what Mars looks like? Does Mars look different? Have you not been to Mars at all? What is Mars? There are those who say space doesn't exist or Mars doesn't really exist. It opens a whole bunch of questions. And if you're going to lie about Mars, what else are you going to lie about? The moon and everything else? You know, this is very damning. That's why I'm sometimes I will do things like this on purpose just to give you little clues on your own. But it does open up a lot of questions. If you're going to lie about this, then how can we trust you on? And then if you can't trust NASA, then what do you believe in?
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what we talk about here in this community. Different people have their different conclusions. I think this is a pretty settled case. If anyone really thinks that picture was taken on Mars, it was not.
Or that they thought that was just a rock that looks like a rat.
Yeah, they call it pareidolia.
Yeah.
And it's not even a rat. It's a specific rodent to Devon Island. So yeah, that's on Instagram. It's part of the written decode. But I just thought I'd highlight that because it's a very interesting and important subject.
No, that was fantastic, Rambo. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Myron, Cody, anything else you guys wanted to add to Rambo's part of the presentation?
No, that was amazing, Rambo.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, overall, just as usual, great work. And I the lemming thing with the Mars stuff is, yeah, it's pretty damning, as you said, Rambo. And you know, like I still think it is interesting, ironic that it's a lemming, and that's what the meaning of that actually means. And it just seems perfectly ironic, almost. If they aren't intentionally doing it, then it's almost like God is giving us a little bit of an irony here, because it seems that's the perfect little rodent animal to be caught in the picture there.
Yeah, that might be the message they're sending. You're right. That actually could be the occulted message that they're sending.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I get. If they're not doing that, then it's just ironic that they got caught being and everyone, you know, most people most people on Earth do believe. Well, I don't know about most people. I think a lot of people are starting to realize, but a majority of people, I'm sure, are still lemmings, and they still believe what NASA says.
The thing is, now we don't know what they present, which part of what they present is true or not true. Do we disregard everything? And if we disregard everything, then what do we believe? Because now we have no basis to believe. We just have to just speculate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Chinese rover supposedly on Mars. There's an Indian, hasn't landed on Mars, but there's the probe from India which is taking pictures of Mars. And there's one picture of Mars from the Indian space probe that looks a lot different than the ones that NASA has. So yeah, we don't know. Now we're left with what do we believe?
Well, the other thing that comes to mind with me is NASA is one letter away from an anagram of Satan, who's known as the Grand Deceiver, right? So you got the missing letter T for what it's worth. You know what I mean? I don't have anything to expand upon the letter T, but once again, move those letters around, add the T, and now biblically you're connecting with the grand deceiver.
It does connect to Jack Parsons. JPL is Jack Parsons' lab.
Oh, well, yeah.
He tried to invoke the Antichrist, and that's not a theory. It's accepted. It's widely accepted. Yes, Jack Parsons, along with L. Ron Hubbard, were attempting to usher in the Antichrist, whatever their understanding of the Antichrist was. And we can speculate as to whether or not they succeeded. So, yeah, I think it's the Satan thing and the JPL. That goes hand in hand, with what Jack Parsons was involved in. Yeah.
Cody, I see that, obviously we don't have your screen shared, but I know that you're doing a little research on the back end. Was there anything else you wanted to add to Rambo's presentation before we dive into Myron's presentation? That's unless, Rambo, you had anything else that you wanted to share.
No, that's it. You can go to Myron.
Okay.
Yeah. Just as on my end real fast, it will be a good good addition to add this before Myron speaks, considering what I just talked about, and what what you guys have been talking about with King James. Somebody in the chat just mentioned this movie, and I had looked into this movie actually when this 17 stuff all happened, 17 weeks ago. And I had remembered now that we are 1 month away from this movie turning 17 years old. So that's interesting. Maybe we'll see some sort of riddle connected with it, but it will be on April 17th, which is the 107th day of the year, by the way. And 107 is like a 17. They released this April 17, 2009. So that means in a month, exactly a month from today, it'll be 17 years old. But that also means that today is exactly 16 years, 11 months since that movie released. Right? So 1611, right before LeBron's getting ready to hit that 1611. I mean, we're just days away from that. So this movie just turning 1611. And this 17 stuff. And this 17 stuff just happened today, right before on this, and LeBron being from the 17th state. I think that's really interesting that this is going to be 1611, or it is 1611. So
Golden Age says, "Look out, Zac Efron."
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting, and I guess we have to watch out for the 17th of next month too, for maybe some sort of riddle connected to this movie. And remember, we already had Matthew Perry. Well, actually, two of the actors in this movie are already dead. Michelle Trachtenberg and Matthew Perry. So, yeah, maybe watch out some of these other actors in here as well. I don't know, Leslie Mann. I mean, I don't know about Zac Efron. Still quite young, so. But yeah, that's all I got. I just wanted to, because I know Myron's going to talk a bit about LeBron and the 1611 and just seems like it's interesting alignment with the 1611.
Yes, unfortunately, it looks like Myron might have had a technical issue, but I know he'll be jumping back on when he can in a moment. It's hard when you do it on your phone and you're in your car and whatnot, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and just speaking of next month on the 17th, the movie that's coming out next month is on that day is called Mother Mary. And I had a big week this week revealing the huge riddles with well, first of all, I started off by showing that the whole thing with Bam was clearly connected to Crowley. With do what thou wilt. So I shared that in our Discord, but just to explain real fast, do what thou wilt, Wilt Chamberlain passing or being the first all time. So yeah, anyway, next month on the 17th, since Myron's back now, on the 17th, Mother Mary's coming out. And I just did a video yesterday on Project Hail Mary, which just came out, which coming out tomorrow or 2 days from now, which is on Thalima's New Year and on Barron Trump's birthday. So, and they have the same birth. So the two stars of the two movies coming out with the Mary connection in the next 2 months, both have the same birthday. And they happen to have the same birthday as the Jesuit leader who, if you look into it, the Jesuits believe Mother Mary is their mother, a mother of the Society of Jesus. Of course, it makes sense. She's the mother of Jesus. So, but yeah, I just wanted to hit that while Myron's getting on here, but we'll let Myron take over his presentation.
No, I think that's a big one. Do what thou wilt, right? That's a very, very popular phrase in the occult.
Well, and I showed that it was so what's the odds that it was 150 years and 150 months or 150 days after Aleister Crowley was born, and they scored 150 points, and Aleister Crowley's book, the Book of the Law, Liber Alvel Legis, equals 150. I mean, to me, that was the most like out front part of this whole thing. It was clearly about Crowley, and then all this shipping stuff going on with the Strait of Hormuz is all about Crowley too, because it's a birthing ritual. The as I showed in my last decode, it's about the oil of grace. The main character in the movie Project Hail Mary is named Grace, Ryland Grace. So yeah, anyway, we'll let Myron take it over.
Myron, what's up, bub? How are you?
Well, good. Sorry about that. I was having trouble. I had difficulties, but I hope everybody can hear me now. I shouldn't have any more.
Yeah, we can hear you all right. We can hear you good.
Perfect. All right. And great work again. Like I said, I don't know if you guys heard me to begin with, but KODI, RAMBO, amazing stuff as always, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, seriously. And I just always get so giddy to see you and KODI talk about your observations and additions with the world of wrestling. You know, RAMBO and I both have openly said, like, had no idea how much wrestling is so much involved with all of this. So is that where you wanted to start, Myron?
Yeah, we can touch on KODI wrestling. Rhodes. Yeah, definitely. While I still have KODI, I always love to do the wrestling piece. I'll talk about KODI Rhodes a little bit, and then I'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's not on the slides. But I just shared this with AJ today because Cuba right now, I believe like their entire power grid went out. So what I noticed, this is something I shared on my Instagram almost a year ago, exactly to the date. I believe it was shared on March 21st of last year. But it was just the connections because they were connecting KODI Rhodes to the gold rush, like the American Revolution. And I was looking at the year 1849 because that is when the American dream manifested, which led to the California gold rush, which of course is in San Francisco. KODI had done so much work, and everybody else on the Golden Gate Bridge, which I have little bits and pieces on that. But 1849 also stood out to me because KODI Rhodes is of Cuban descent, and 1849 was the same year that the Cuban flag was created. And I know this was put out last year, and last year that was 176 years ago. And then everybody was talking about the Golden Gate Bridge being 88 years old, and I know 88 and 88, if you add it together, it's 176. But almost to the date, now Cuba is having the blackout because they had a fallout with America. But the key was the American dream, because KODI Rhodes' father is Dusty Rhodes, and his nickname in wrestling was the American Dream. And if for those of you who don't follow wrestling, KODI Rhodes' older brother was called Gold Dust. So he doesn't wrestle anymore, but he wrestled and he was very popular, and he was from California. They had him listed in wrestling as from California. So you have KODI Rhodes' father, who is called the American Dream. You have his brother, who was called Gold Dust from California, and the American Dream sparked in America. It sparked the California Gold Rush. So I thought they were just leaning heavily on hints of Cuba with Cody Rhodes back then being of Cuban descent, and now like almost fast forward 1 year later, and you have Cuba suffering a blackout, because they did have a blackout again almost a year ago to this date as well.
Yeah, and Cody Rhodes, he's basically the golden boy of WWE right now. In fact, most fans are turning against him because he's being put in the spotlight all the time, and people feel like he's not given the younger talent any space, and he just got another opportunity to be at WrestleMania again, which he won, and he didn't really, they made it seem like he wasn't going to be there, and then they gave him a last chance, and now he's going to be there against Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's the golden boy, and he's the gold theme with the golden age with Trump and all that stuff. So, and it's interesting too because he's the American Nightmare, which
exactly
it's kind of interesting to think about with what's going on right now with Cuba. I mean, and essentially America is a nightmare for Cuba right now. So you could say that it's the American, what America is doing to Cuba is I mean, they kind of caused that, supposedly. I mean, I don't think that's really what happened, but that's what they're making it like, is like the United States blocked off oil, so they caused a collapse of the power grid, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But
right. That's all I had too much on the Cuba thing. Like I said, I just shared that with AJ because it was relevant, because in the news, we have Cuba back in the news, and it's almost exactly 1 year later. That tied to Cody Rhodes, the blackout in Cuba, having a blackout. The only other wrestling portion that I was able to share, because before LeBron had got hurt, we thought LeBron was going to hit the 16-11 streak on 316. So in wrestling, of course, was Austin 316 yesterday. They tried to celebrate like the Austin 316 date, but I paid attention because WrestleMania 14 is when Stone Cold became the WWF champion. Like, that was a huge WrestleMania, a lot of Bible themes. It was Kane and Undertaker's first match against each other at WrestleMania, kind of like the Kane and Abel thing. Of course, Austin 316, he became popular because he beat Jake the Snake. And Jake the Snake, of course, was a snake. And then that tied into Kobe Bryant and his Mamba mantra. Because, of course, Kobe died after LeBron passed him. So the connections were there, but also the John 3:16 verse, where Austin kind of got his nickname from who Stone Cold defeated at WrestleMania was Shawn Michaels. And again, like with them always hinting at themes, like Shawn Michaels was forced to retire that year. And then 4 years later, he returned to wrestling, but he was like a born-again Christian. That was like his entire theme. So the Bible themes have been heavy, but those are the only things that I had to share when it comes to wrestling.
Okay. Yeah, before we pivot to the LeBron James stuff, anything else, Rambo, Cody, that you guys wanted to add with this Gold Rush, Cody Rhodes, the American Dream, Gold Dust, the Golden Age, anything else?
I'll just say real fast too. Last year when the Cuba had that blackout, last year, which I did a video, I think the day of that, and I had Cody Rhodes on the front. Like, you check my thumbnail, I had Cody Rhodes on the front, and I had Michael Jordan, and I had tied it into Space Jam because Cody Rhodes has a tattoo on his chest called Dream. It's just the word Dream. And if you check the gematria of Dream, it's a match to Alien, and I think in almost all ciphers. And Space Jam also equals, I think Space Jam equals 41. I think Dream equals 41. I think Alien equals 41. But that day I tied into Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan, I think he had gotten, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know that the next week Cody Rhodes was in Spain, WWE was in Spain, and there was this riddle where the wrestler that was out there, he had said, cut the lights or something like that. And then that was right after Cuba had their lights cut. And then a month later, on April 28th last year, Spain had a blackout, which connected to Cody Rhodes being in Spain a month earlier. So again, these blackout narratives, and let's not forget Bad Bunny was just in the Super Bowl with a Spanish halftime show, a fully Spanish halftime show, climbing on power lines that were exploding and going out. So this is
in the arena hosted by the 49ers, right? Named after the
right.
Gold Rush.
Exactly.
And shout out to Akuda Kiwi. This is a great one with Rambo's video, his content about the 43s. Look at this. 43 times 43 equals 1849.
Yeah.
Cuban flag created in 1849. Wow. That's a great one, man.
Yeah, Kiwi's a brilliant guy.
Yeah. Great stuff.
He should give his YouTube channel out I think he should give a link to his YouTube channel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So Akuda Kiwi, if it's not just at Akuda-Kiwi, please let the chat know where they can find your YouTube channel, and I'll pin it on the screen. That's a great addition.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how these things coincide every time. You know, we come with different observations. All right, Myron. Yeah, let's pivot to St. Patrick's Day. LeBron, we're on the doorstep of the 1611, right? You know, maybe it made too much sense for him to hit that 1611 on 316. And did you notice that he forgot which elbow injury
Of course.
which elbow? He comes down, he's grabbing this elbow. He's on the bench now. He's grabbing this elbow.
just grab something to look hurt.
Just grab your elbow. He's like, which one? Who cares? Just grab one.
As much as the 316 sounded great, I do think this date, like in what I'm going to present, is a lot more fitting, simply because me and AJ had a conversation in August, and I believe a stream also, about is magic happening in the NBA. So this is kind of a full circle moment, because we do have LeBron set to eclipse the record against the Orlando Magic. So that I do like.
I thought it was the Heat. I thought it was the
no,
Heat.
he's gonna tie it. He's gonna tie it against the Heat.
Oh, okay.
So he will officially break the record the next game against the Magic. But I'll try to go in order. I do have a lot, because like I said, I've been covering the 1611 almost up until the day that it does occur. So I do have a lot, and I've noticed like so many pieces coming together when it comes to the 1611 narrative and how it has followed LeBron James and the Lakers organization.
Mr. S made a good point that LeBron won with the Lakers in Orlando back in 2020. Let's not forget about that, right? Beating the Heat.
Yep.
So, Myron, anything else on this slide? I mean, let's not.
So this was just a segue, because I am going to talk about a lot about Patrick Riley. His name, of course, the picture you see on the left is a very popular show called Power. This character's name is James St. Patrick. He kind of lives a double life on the TV show, and he just has to manipulate his way to show that he's a good businessman, while at night, like, he's a crooked, like, in the streets kind of criminal. But Pat Riley, his full name, of course, is Patrick James Riley, who just received his statue. So this guy gets a Lakers statue while he still has ties to the Miami Heat organization, kind of like LeBron James, who is playing for the Los Angeles Lakers right now, but had a lot of ties to the Miami Heat organization as well. I'm just going to bring it all together with Pat Riley, the 1611 going on, which LeBron is set to break. But I will start with Pat Riley. You can go to the next slide. So we're going to start with Pat Riley and his connection. I did want to point out that Pat Riley, he's connected even to Bam Adebayo, because he is under the Miami Heat organization. But Pat Riley, he started with Magic Johnson in the Showtime Lakers. He began his coaching career with the Lakers, and 1 year later, he got Magic Johnson. So Magic Johnson won a national championship, left Michigan State, and he became the Los Angeles Lakers star player under Pat Riley. So one thing that I pointed out in our previous stream in August was that the NBA season came out this year on Magic Johnson's 66th birthday. This is also the Los Angeles Lakers 66th season in Los Angeles as well, not in the NBA, but in Los Angeles. So Magic Johnson is 66 years old. The Los Angeles Lakers have been in Los Angeles now 66 years. And of course, LeBron, whose nickname is King James, there's 66 books in the King James Bible. LeBron James equals 66, and his accomplishments. So LeBron's first year, he won his first MVP award. He set a record with 66 wins for the Cleveland Cavaliers. That year, when he set the record, the NBA Finals was the Lakers and the Magic. So this was like a little full circle moment, knowing that Magic kind of made Pat Riley's. I don't know. You want to touch on the comment, AJ?
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, so just follow up to Akuda, right? For those interested in following Akuda on his own channel, it's the same as the handle you guys are seeing right now, at Akuta-Kiwi. He also says here, Dusty Rhodes makes sense with the Golden Rush being Dusty Rhodes, and thanks for the shout out. Yep. So make sure you guys right now, if you guys haven't, open up another tab, go follow Akuta-Kiwi on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy too, Myron, right? With the whole 32 Shaq, who also won championships with the Lakers. He wore 32 with the Heat. We're talking about Bam Adebayo. We're talking about the Lakers. Bam passing Kobe, who played for the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like it's like you kind of see it
revolving.
Yeah.
The revolving cycle of just the history of Pat Riley's coaching career. Like I said, this NBA season is special because it came out on Magic Johnson's birthday. The schedule was released on his birthday. So I did think there would be ties to Magic. And of course, Magic's coach at the time was Pat Riley. Pat Riley gets a statue in front of the Lakers arena this year. And then pretty much like a week after he gets his statue, you see the record. Bam Adebayo breaks Kobe Bryant's record. So Pat Riley got his statue on February 22nd, and it was either a week or a little over a week later, Kobe Bryant's scoring record is broken. And again, like the Magic that is amongst us and that's before our eyes, because I feel like this 83-point game wasn't hard to see that it was helped. It wasn't like, I don't want to knock Bam Adebayo, but this wasn't one of the most memorable performances. He shot a lot of free throws. And it just looked like it was controlled or pushed for him to get to 83. But Pat Riley, of course, he coached Magic. Then the Lakers franchise, they get the player that was drafted by the Magic. They end up getting the Man of Steel, Shaquille O'Neal. And then Miami sees success, and Pat Riley sees success as a coach again when they end up getting Shaquille O'Neal to the Miami Heat. So Pat Riley's like history amongst the NBA has taken for him and kind of come full circle in this. On top of thank you for that. LeBron James is 66, Lakers 66. This is, like I said, the Lakers 66 season, and all of LeBron's accomplishments have come with the 66. So Pat Riley, even when LeBron won the Miami Heat their championship for LeBron's first win, it came in a 66-game season because it was a lockout year. So LeBron's first ring for Pat Riley and the Miami Heat, there was only 66 games played in the NBA that season, and they gave LeBron James the NBA championship that year. And far as to cover on Magic and LeBron, I do think that LeBron, in comparison, he's been the easiest one to compare to Magic Johnson. I know, like, it's just a GOAT debate, but early on in LeBron's career, it was he was most compared to Magic because of his ability to run the floor, his size, his passing ability. So I don't think it's a coincidence that the conclusion of his career in LA, when he does break this 16-11 record, that it comes on Magic Johnson, why Magic Johnson is 66 years old, since LeBron is so heavily tied to the number 66.
And shout out to Older Bones. If you type out 1611 as words, it equals 66. Interesting. And of course, the obvious, right? The reflection, 32 and 23.
Yeah.
You know? And then I know you probably already really touched on this. I just thought this was a good screenshot that you sent me too. Let's not forget that Bam passed Kobe. Kobe Bryant equals 41, the 13th prime, died with his 13-year-old Gianna Bryant. Right? We're in LA, where LA equals 13, and you got LeBron winning with the Heat in 2013. Right?
Yep. And of course, and again, Kobe Bryant was the 13th pick for the Lakers.
There you go. Yep. And he debuted on the 13th day of no. It wasn't it 11/3?
Yeah, November
3rd. Yeah. Oh, that's all great stuff, Myron. Seriously. I know you said there was probably other things outside of the visuals. I know I asked you kind of last minute to jump on and share some things, so I appreciate it.
Can I say real quick?
Go ahead.
What is that on Pat Riley's eye?
Yeah, what is
exactly? This is just a photo of him when they won the first championship, and of course, you always see the rituals when they like cover one eye, the Illuminati rituals. But this is a photo taken after the Miami Heat finally won LeBron his first NBA championship, and you see Pat Riley's one eye is covered in the photo.
Do you know what that is, though?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I like to shout out one of my followers, Heart Flames. She actually pointed out that she's seen a trend with the red eye. Like, you know, I don't have since it just came out spontaneously, there are no images.
Reminds me of Donnie Darko.
Was there a red eye?
Well, remember, like, he was shot in the eye, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's similar. But also, I don't know if you remember in Terminator, the image of the Terminator has one of his eyes is like a red light shining. Yeah. But another very famous red eye, I mean, it would be great to have an image of this. Prince Andrew, who's no longer Prince, like he took the biggest fall so far in the Epstein files. He's no longer a prince. The famous picture of Prince Andrew when he's being arrested, paparazzi took a picture. He's at the back of the car. He looks like in shock, and one of his eyes is red, just like that. So there's been a red eye kind of symbolism going, where one eye is red. And the reason Prince Andrew is relevant because when was he arrested? He was arrested on his 66th birthday, which is ties into all the 66s. Yeah, there you go. You see that red eye? You can zoom in. His left eye, which is his right eye, actually. Again, it's funny how it's a right eye. It's the same eye. So it's red. Yeah. This is on his 66th birthday. So it's so funny how Pat Riley also has that.
Yeah.
With all those 66s. So this red eye is, yeah.
Okay. After that, AJ, you mind going to the calculator just to keep it on Jeffrey Epstein right now? Can you go to the calculator and type in Jeffrey Epstein's name?
Yeah. Let me get to it really quick.
Just to support what Rambo is saying, because remember, Jeffrey Epstein, he died at age 66, right? So Jeffrey Epstein, of course, his stuff is coming out this year. Another like 66 connection, and the parallels of Jeffrey Epstein being connected and his island being connected to so many big names and big things. The 215 that had stood out to me. So the first one, 163, he died 163 days before his birthday. The Epstein files came out. So if Epstein was alive right now, he would be 73 years old. So his name does equal 73. But the 215, like the ties and the connection. So if you go 215 days after Jeffrey Epstein's birthday, you get Kobe Bryant's birthday. And if you go 215 days before Jeffrey Epstein's birthday, you get King James's birthday.
And you got 215. That's also the Philadelphia area code. That's one thing that always stands out to me too.
Yeah.
Where Kobe's from.
So the 215 and the King James theme, Sorry to have you all over the place, AJ, but if you go back to the slide now for with Bam Adebayo and Pat Riley, because he scored 83 points, right? 8,300 days before 8,300 days before he broke Kobe's record is King James' birthday also. So he scores 83 point game, and if you go 8,300 days before that date of the day he scored 83, that's King James' birthday again.
Shout out to Sig 310. That's a good one. Island, like island.
Yep.
You know, with kind of that I wordplay. I love that.
Yeah. And then where did LeBron come from? He came from Cleveland to Miami.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but a few things for his 83-point game. Definitely Psalms 83, because this game he broke the record around the time where you started seeing USA and Israel become allies against Iran. And I'm not sure which one of you pointed out that Bam is a city in Iran. Who made that find during you guys' last stream?
What is his name again? You remember?
Onco. It was one of the two.
Okno, yeah.
Okno, yeah.
I thought the timing of that was perfect, because if Bam is the city in Iran, of course, like biblically, like Psalms 83, Bam scores 83 points, and Psalms 83 is asking God to help the state of Israel. He's asking God to help Israel against the other nations that are trying to take Israel out. That's what Psalms 83 is all about, and this all like coincided around when the war first took off. You had Bam's 83-point game.
Did you have anything, Myron, on just the whole like free throws kind of thing? Because it seems like there's been a theme recently about free throws, and
I don't have anything on that other than they just let him shoot. I had 83 free throws, as many as they gave him.
I had mentioned that Crowley. It's clear that what I've revealed in my video earlier this week, that the whole thing is connected to Crowley, and I believe it has to do with the will, the free will, or I believe that's part of maybe why they were doing all the free throws, because again, Crowley was all about the will, the true will, which kind of like, I guess, connected to free will also. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of symbolism there with Crowley, and I haven't looked more into it as far as the depths of it, but the fact that, you have Wilt Chamberlain, which connects to do what thou wilt, and again, remember, Wilt Chamberlain died on Crowley's birthday, so it wasn't just that. Like, again, Wilt Chamberlain died on Crowley's birthday, and his name, Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, I guess I could just pull it up real fast so you guys can see, but it literally is a super match with the Book of the Law. So Wilt Chamberlain's whole career, I don't know of anyone else that's more connected to
Cody. Cody, really quick. I don't mean to interrupt. Honestly, I just don't want this comment to get buried into the rest of the comments. But BPM brought up another great observation, just with everything that Myron just did. Venezuela over USA in baseball, final 3-2 in Miami. 9th in GW hit. I'm not sure what GW game winning in the game winning hit by Suarez, who has the same 7/18 birthday as Bam.
There you go.
That's pretty impressive. Thank you, BPM, for that. And I'm sorry, Cody, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that just happened then, huh?
Yeah, was that today?
Yeah, it's tonight.
I'm guessing.
I've actually been looking at the score updates. Yeah, it's tonight. Yeah, that just happened.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Golden Age comes in. Bam finished with 248 made free throws for the season. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Right there. I also heard it was like his 666th win,
Yeah.
regular season win. Oh my god, dude.
And what in 24-8, Kobe's numbers equal 32 as well if you add them up.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to show that, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, that it's obvious that Wilt Chamberlain and his whole career is probably all about Crowley. I mean, I don't know how you could not think that after, I mean, the fact that not only was did he die on Crowley's birthday, and his name is Wilt, which goes with the famous line, "Do what thou wilt," but Crowley's Book of the Law literally equals Wilt Chamberlain in all ciphers. And this also brings relevance once again to using the Crowley ciphers, because notice that it equals Wilt Chamberlain in the base 4, but notice that the Crowley cipher that derives from Crowley's work, called the English Kubala cipher, which you can look up on Wikipedia. They have a Wikipedia page on this cipher. It even equals Wilt Chamberlain in that cipher as well. So, I mean, you got a 5 cipher match, and you have him being born on that. And then to go with that is that the fact that game, which Bam Adebayo did, was 150 years, 150 days after Crowley died, or after Crowley was born, and 150 days after Wilt Chamberlain was born. And that's the gematria that Lieber Alveligas and Wilt Chamberlain share. And the clue was that they scored 150 points. That was telling you right there what it was all about. I mean, considering that it was 150 years, 150 days after Crowley died or was born. I mean, that to me is one of the strongest finds I think I've ever found, linking somebody or something to somebody else. Like, you're talking about the Wilt connection with the Book of the Law. You're talking about the gematria connection, the number connections there. It's all there. And then I had put together the other fact that Pat Riley, he's born on the invocation of Horus, which was on March 20th, 1904. Pat Riley born March 20th, 1945. And so why was it the Miami Heat that were used for this? It was all because Pat Riley, the head of the Heat, essentially, he's the court they were even playing on, named after him, was literally, the guy was literally born on the Thelema New Year, when Crowley and his wife started the religion, essentially. And then I tied that to Barron Trump, because Barron Trump, I tied that to the 130. Well, when Kobe broke the record, or set the 81-point record, Crowley was 130 years old. So again, the year that Kobe did it, it was all connected with Crowley in the 130, and then the whole Adebayo thing, as we found out on last week's live stream, was literally all about the number 130. So I think that's why the 130s came up a lot last week too. It connected with Crowley's age when Kobe broke the record, and then I had talked about how it's clear that Barron Trump is the invocation of Horus ritual. Barron Trump born 102 years to the day of the equinox of the gods, which is the gematria of the equinox of the gods. And in Crowley's cipher, Thelema equals 102, and Barron Trump was born 102 years to the day, which again is Pat Riley's birthday, March 20th.
I think that's big too, with Chirac's comment about Roman Catholic Church equals 320, and everything that Myron's been doing about the biblical
Pat
connection.
Riley is from Rome, New York. He's born in Rome, New York.
Oh my God. Man.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That even adds more relevance to it, because remember,
KODI roads lead back to what?
Rome. Yeah,
roads.
This is why
roads. That's the one thing about KODI roads that always stuck out to me.
No, but that's why KODI Rhodes became big after his defeat of Roman Reigns. I mean, it's clear what they're doing.
Right.
I mean,
right.
KODI Rhodes and Roman Reigns are the ultimate enemies in their careers. So that's why, And again, when Kobe, and this also proved to me that back when Kobe did this, it was all about Horace, because when Kobe scored 81, it was on 122, which is the gematria of invocation, and invocation is what Crowley did, the invocation of Horace. Well, 81 is the gematria of Horace. I mean, how perfect is that? The invocation 122, Horace 81. Kobe on 122 scored 81. And that was exactly 8 weeks and 1 day before Barron Trump was born. I mean, come
And he
on.
did it on 122. And the Lakers scored 122 points, just for what it's worth. Yeah.
Exactly. The invocation. So again, this is something that no one I
Oh
think
my
had.
God. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Coach. BPM's on fire right now. Roman
Oh, really?
Anthony struck out to end the game for the U.S.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
And Roman Reigns, is he not from Florida?
Yep.
Oh, geez. Florida
He's
equals
from-
43, by the way. That's another big Florida number. Miami.
Yeah, Roman Reigns is from Pensacola, which I believe is the oldest U.S. settlement in the United States, or something like that. So yeah, wow. I mean, the Roman thing is crazy. That he just shared there.
If I'm not mistaken, help me with my history, but are Spartans, like, do they come from Rome? Like, the mythology, are the Spartans from Rome or no?
That'd be Greece, right?
That's Greece. Okay, never mind. Because I was gonna say because of Magic Johnson and him being a Spartan, but yeah, never mind.
I mean,
Oh,
it probably does
question.
have.
I would have thought of that too.
It probably does have some sort of connection somehow. I would imagine.
Yeah, I want to keep you too at the 81 also, Cody, and the Bam, like more addition to Bam, because I know you said that Wilt Chamberlain, he did play for Philadelphia, in the 83 NBA Finals, in 83 it was Philadelphia, and the MVP that season was Moses Malone. So Moses Malone, he was said to have the greatest Finals MVP performance until LeBron James's performance against the Golden State Warriors that year. So Moses won the Finals MVP in '83, and of course, like, Moses is an Israelite, like with the biblical themes, but Moses was said to have like the greatest performance before it was eclipsed by LeBron James also, and that happened in '83.
I see. I did not know that, actually. So that makes a lot of sense with the whole Moses from the Bible, the Israelites, the connection. Yeah, that's crazy. And then that was so 83. I mean, yeah, that would have been. I wonder how many days that was before LeBron was born. Did you ever check that?
So Moses Malone is born 83 days after LeBron's birthday.
Oh. Yeah. So yeah, that, I mean, with the 83 points, there's probably many meanings to the 83. But I have a feeling. Well, and 83 is the 23rd prime, and that's LeBron's number too. So I think this 83 points from Bam was also about LeBron's upcoming surpassing of Parrish.
Yeah, when he ties 16-11 against the Miami Heat the next day, Pat Riley turns 81.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
Pat Riley turns 81 the very next day.
Because that's why. Okay, so that brings more relevance to what I just shared about this.
Yep.
Because this. So wait, that's crazy, guys. So that means that invocation equals 122 and Horus equals 81. Pat Riley is going to turn 81 on the 122nd anniversary this year of the invocation of Horus. Wow.
There you
That
go.
just brought it all together, because that's the two numbers I just showed here, and that's the two ages these things are going to turn on this March 20th.
Yeah.
And Barron Trump, he's going to turn 20. Which I haven't fully figured out what that 20. I'm sure the 20 is very significant to this as well. But Barron Trump turning 20 is also I mean, and again, Horus 81, Ritual 81, 81 points, 88 weeks and 1 day later.
Kobe's full name equals 81, by the way. Kobe
Right,
B.
Kobe
Bryant.
Bean Bryant.
Yep.
And yeah, so and even the fact that, you know, the reason at first I was like, is this connected to Barron, you know, but like once I started looking into it, I was like, yeah, this is obviously about something with Barron. Because you can even see here his height, you know, Adebayo scored, you know, that 83 on the 69th day of the year. Adebayo's 6'9". Barron Trump is also 6'9", right? So
did that say Barron Trump was 58 years old?
where?
I saw 58. Was that his age in one of your slides?
I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. 58.
Can't be Barron.
Well, I saw 58. Go back one more time. When he was going through the slides, I thought I saw 58 in the number.
I'll say LeBron and Barron are kind of a little wordplay. Barron Braun.
Yeah. I don't know what the 58 was.
Okay, I saw it when you were clicking. I saw 58, but maybe my eyes are just.
It might be in my other slides from one of my other presentations I had, because all these on the same slide. I've been keeping all my slides in one Canva slide, so it's just easier to collect everything. It just makes it harder to. So maybe there was another 58 somewhere. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, but yeah, all this seems to be connected to this Crowley thing, which is shout out to Rambo. He was already all over the Thelema, you know, Jack Parsons stuff before I even caught on to this. And then last week when all this went down, Rambo was talking about Parsons, and lo and behold, as we were talking on the live stream, this happened with Adebayo, and then the whole thing was connected to Crowley. So yeah, I mean, you could probably do a whole channel following everything that's happening and just connecting it to Thelema and Crowley. I think you could dedicate a whole channel to that, because it's possible.
So Crowley was calling out in that letter, which was on the day that dated for the day that Donald Trump was born. He was calling out both Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard, because L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons basically trying to bring in the Antichrist. So he called out both of them, which ties into the volcano theme, because L. Ron Hubbard, he's just as culpable as Jack Parsons. Just say hypothetically, if they brought in an Antichrist, it's interesting. It points to Trump because the letter was dated for that day. Crowley's letter condemning both of them. L. Ron Hubbard wrote a book called Dianetics, so and he founded Scientology. If you look at the cover of the modern day versions of Dianetics, this is one of the highest selling books of all time. It's a volcano. That's because a volcano is related to Scientology. Scientologists believe that there's a planet called Xenu, Xenu, and they wanted to depopulate Xenu. So they took a large portion of the population, hundreds of thousands, they froze them so they couldn't move, and brought them to Earth. When they brought them to Earth, they put them all around volcanoes. Then they put nuclear bombs. This is Scientology. Then they put nuclear bombs in the volcanoes, I guess, to trigger eruptions, to kill all these people who were from Xenu originally, to depopulate Xenu. When they killed these people, they had their spirits now occupy the earth, and their spirits are called Thetans. And Thetans are called reactive minds, and they infect the minds of humans, and they're reactive minds. And what they do in Scientology, which is it's about psychology. What they do in Scientology is they have an audit. It's a spiritual audit that gets rid of the Thetans, or gets you to deal with the Thetans, which are the disembodied spirits of the people from Xenu who were killed around the volcanoes. I know, yeah. So, and this happened when the volcano went off. It ties right to Crowley, because Crowley called out L. Ron Hubbard. So it kind of brings the volcano thing in as well, with Crowley and L. Ron Hubbard and Parsons, and the whole volcano theme is really central to Scientology. So it brings that together as well.
I mean, that's a crazy story. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah. Look up Scientology and their beliefs. That's why if you look at Dianetics, which is L. Ron Hubbard's book in modern day, I've done this in several decos. I've shown it. It's a volcano on the cover.
And then to support you, Rambo, and the depopulation thing. Everybody's familiar with the Flintstones, but the child Bam Bam, those are not his parents. Like, they adopt him because they can't have a child.
So Bam Bam is the son of Barney Rubble.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Bam Bam, they get Bam Bam because they can't birth their own child.
No, wow, I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, the whole thing you just said though, Rambo, with the Scientology, like, I obviously knew about Scientology. I never looked into it as much as I never had time. I always run out of time to look into all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, the fact that it connects to the volcano, and it makes complete sense then why a volcano was also erupting. And I wanted to also mention too, this was in Hawaii, right? The volcano.
Yeah. Kilauea in Hawaii, yeah. It was episode 43 was the eruption. KODI, you still there?
KODI, you there? I don't see him on mute, but typically he would just shift to another tab on his screen. That's okay though. Yeah, I mean there's some pretty interesting documentaries and stuff that have come out over the years on Scientology. For sure.
Also a shout out one of my patrons, Charlie. So Bam Adebayo belongs to the Yoruba ethnicity of Nigeria. The Yoruba have a god called Ogun. I don't know heard of Ogun, but I never really looked into the detail of Ogun. If you see how Ogun is described, he's described exactly, well, not exactly, almost, there'll be some differences here and there. There are no volcanoes in West Africa. There are volcanoes in East Africa, Kilimanjaro, but not West Africa. They don't have volcanoes. But he's described more or less exactly as the Greeks described Hephaestus. Hephaestus is the Greek original of Rome's Vulcan. That's where you get Vulcanalia, 823, when Kobe Bryant was born. Of course, he eclipses Kobe Bryant's record. The guy born up Vulcanalia. So again, shout out to Charlie. From Bam Adebayo's Yoruba tradition, Ogun is a god that lines up perfectly with Hephaestus and Vulcan. So he's a god of blacksmithing, metalwork, invention, fire. That's all Ogun. So that's actually the Yoruba Nigerian version of Hephaestus and Vulcan, who are volcano gods. And that's why they chose a Nigerian, a Yoruba. It had to be Yoruba. That's the most populous ethnic group in Nigeria, but that's part of the reason as well. They picked a Yoruba for this ritual because he represents Ogun, who's basically Hephaestus. It's the same archetype. And again, shout out to Charlie for that connection.
That's another great find. I'm mad KODI's off because he probably would have caught it too. But so in wrestling, again, the biggest up and coming name right now is from Nigeria. His name is Obafemi, and he's coming to destroy the Beast, Brock Lesnar, at WrestleMania. So it's like the Beast theme. And he's about to get slayed by this huge Nigerian guy that has never lost a match yet. And his name is Obafemi, but it's like the coming of a Nigerian warrior right now.
Yeah, that probably
like a Nigerian warrior right now.
I believe Obafemi is Yoruba.
Wow.
That's actually a very common name.
Are you guys talking about Obafemi?
Yeah.
I was literally gonna say something about that, and my whole internet cut out, and then I was gonna lead into that actually, but you guys are already talking about it when I came back on. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, I guess you guys already. I guess Myron probably already covered it.
No, I
Well,
didn't say much. Rambo just pointed out the Yoruba and Nigeria connection, and I just said that was a crazy find because of the up and coming star Obafemi
Oh,
being
yeah,
Nigerian.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to. So this is like the next Roman Reigns, in my opinion. They call him the ruler,
Yeah.
but they also call him the bringer of war. He calls himself that, actually. He calls himself the bringer of war, and so his finishing move, which so they just brought him on against one of the biggest stars in WWE history, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is the beast. And on Monday, just yesterday, Obafemi, like one of the trending things in WWE, it was like 61 million views in like half a day. This video got was Obafemi coming in and confronting Brock Lesnar, the Beast, and giving him a fall from grace. And so Obafemi's movie, his finishing move is called Fall from Grace. And what's crazy about that is I had just did a live stream last night about the movie coming out on the 20th again, called Project Hail Mary, which features a character named Ryland Grace. And that's played by, what's his name? Now I can't even think of his name. Ryan Gosling. So Ryan Gosling plays Ryland Grace, and Obafemi's movie is The Fall from Grace. And it's all connected to the phrase Hail Mary, full of grace. And it's all about the Annunciation time period we're in. But anyway, I know that Obafemi also has the same birthday as the Jesuits' celebration of Mother Mary. So if you look, just quickly, this was in my slides.
Cody, make sure to request screen share if you're trying to show something.
Oh yeah, shoot, hold on. I forgot I already dropped out of here. Hold on. So, like I said, the whole movie, Project Hail Mary, is tied to. So the ship that they're on in the movie is called the Hail Mary, and then the guy who's riding the ship is Grace. So it's clearly the prayer Hail Mary, full of grace. That's literally what the writer was getting at. And so the Jesuits, again, Ryan Gosling has the same birthday as the Superior General of the Jesuits. And so the Jesuits celebrate Mother Mary's motherhood of their order on April 22nd. Well, April 22nd is Obafemi's birthday, whose move is the fall from grace. So, just like a huge riddle here that I haven't dug more into yet with Obafemi and how it connects to this Mother Mary thing. But
Sorry, guys.
did I hit a button? Sorry, did I hit something?
No, I think it was me. My bad, you guys.
Oh. But yeah, anyway, just going back with the Obafemi, I'm gonna have to do more research into him and figure out, what's going on with him in general. Because, I love to do my deep dives on these wrestlers. But, yeah, the whole Hail Mary thing that's happening right now is huge. Also, remember when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl? I had brought up that James Vanderbeek, who died on the Seahawks parade, one of his only football posts on his Instagram was the Seahawks famous play called the Fail Mary, which was also called the inaccurate reception. And the guy who caught that was Golden Tate, which connects with our golden riddles. But yeah, the Seahawks quarterback who threw that Hail Mary last play, his name is Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson's born on 11/29. Well, 11/29 is the full gematria of the chapter of the Annunciation, and the angel came in unto her and said, "Hail, thou art highly favored." Anyway, that whole verse equals 11/29. That's the birthday of Russell Wilson. And notice that 11/29 is the 189th prime number. And Ryland Grace, the character in the movie, equals 189, like her grace. But check out how Iran on 11/29 last year opened a train station called the Holy Mary Metro Station, and from that to the movie release is 3 months and 20 days, which again is the gematria of Hail Mary, full of grace, and Roman Catholic Church. And in fact, Roman Catholic Church and Hail Mary, full of grace are a super match in all gematria ciphers, including that 320, which I revealed was a huge number. With being 320 being the date. So anyway, this whole thing going back to Obafemi, there's something with him and the Hail Mary stuff, because again, there's something with the grace thing. Because as I mentioned, the whole thing with the oil right now, it connects with the oil of grace, which is another Christian theme. And again, as Rambo's talked about many times, the birth number, the 57. There's a bunch of 57s with this. Oil shortage equals 57, like birth. And then. But yeah, this whole thing with this Strait of Hormuz, the queen of there's a theory that the Strait of Hormuz is named after the queen, the mother of Shamur II. So, Shapur II. So Ifra Hormizda was supposedly the mother of Shapur II. And supposedly there's a theory that the Hormuz Strait gets the name from her name, which makes perfect sense because this whole thing's about Mother Mary, who's infant. And remember, when Shapur II took over as king of this old Persian nation, he was an infant, similar to how Jesus was on his birth as an infant, was essentially the king. He was born the king. So this whole thing is connected to Mother Mary, and that's why you have 2 movies coming out in the next month, basically all about Mary. We got the Project Hail Mary, and then you have the actual movie called Mother Mary. So yeah, that's the whole. I don't know if you have any more to add about Rambo or Myron about the Obafemi. I'm sure Rambo has some stuff to connect with Obafemi, because I know Rambo's done research on Nigeria and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's so the largest ethnic group in Nigeria is the Yoruba. They're the largest, and there's something I pointed out which kind of ties into what's going on in the Middle East. I've done several decodes on this. If you look at the original Nigerian flag, the original flag, which was given to them by Britain, who colonized Nigeria. And if anyone thinks former British colonies are independent, then you're a lemming. They're still under the British Empire. I don't know if this is proven, but they say that former members of the British Empire, when they elect a head of state, when they take an oath, they still take an oath to the British Crown, as well as to their country. I don't know if that's confirmed, including Canada and Australia. But so nonetheless, the original Nigerian flag, which was given to them by Britain, had the British Union Jack and a Star of David. There was a Star of David on the Nigerian flag. And there are a small number of Yoruba, but a few more members of the Igbo community who say that they originated from the Middle East and they're one of the 12 tribes. They really strongly identify with that. Again, that's not the majority of them. Majority are Christian, but there's a small group, it's primarily Igbo, but also some Yoruba, who do believe that they're one of the 12 tribes of Israel. And it's just interesting that Britain put a Star of David, they even call it the Seal of Solomon, on the original Nigerian flag. I've done several decodes on that. But also, Benjamin Netanyahu was 44. It's an Israel code. Zion's 44. Israel's 44. Theodor Herzl, who's the father of Zionism, lived to age 44. And then Benjamin Netanyahu did a 44 minutes of silence at the United Nations. Why did he pick 44? We know why, because that's why. But he did that on Nigerian Independence Day on October 1st. So, and I was talking, and who's the famous MMA fighter? He's from New Zealand, but he's Nigerian origin. Is Israel Adesanya. So he's Nigerian. His first name is Israel. So you will see a lot of Nigerians quoted. I mean, Donald Trump just bombed Nigeria, and who was there shortly after, around the same time of the bombing, was Anthony Joshua. Remember, Anthony Joshua was in the car accident in Nigeria. Anthony Joshua, he's not only Yoruba, he's actually from a elite bloodline of Yoruba, which is why he gets the opportunity that he does. He could be a great boxer. He's from a bloodline. He even says in his Wikipedia page, this isn't even conspiracy stuff. It says he's from an elite Yoruba bloodline. So there are all these connections to the Middle East and Israel, Adesanya, as well. And recent news, Anthony Joshua. What is it, Roman Anthony or someone who just made the final out for the USA. So Anthony's kind of connected to that. But yeah, so yeah, you will see, yes, a lot of prominent Nigerians, primarily Yoruba. Actually, so Giannis of Milwaukee Bucks, he's actually mixed. So one of his parents is Yoruba, the other is Igbo, but they are very prominent. Also, the Yoruba spiritual tradition of Ifa is actually it's among Western spiritual traditions, occult spiritual traditions. They actually, I think that's the African tradition that they will practice most, actually, even in the West, among Western mystery schools, United States, England, is the Yoruba tradition of Ifa. So you will see a lot of that connected to so much Middle East. Latest news: Trump bombs Nigeria, and what you're seeing now with the volcano. That's an invocation of Ogun, who is the volcano god, who sounds exactly like Hephaestus. So yeah, so that's just a general idea. You will be seeing, we have been seeing, quite a few Nigerians at the center of these rituals worldwide.
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, I've pointed out how important what WWE is doing really is on the world stage, and how, I mean, WrestleMania 42 is literally on the birthday of the now passed away Iran leader. And it's WrestleMania 42 in the Bible. The beast reigns for 42 months. Iran equals 42. Roman Reigns will be 42 prime days old, or prime measurement old on that day. And again, this is why you have Obafemi now taking the center stage. He is the ruler, and he is going to be taking the beast. So with Obafemi, I think positioning himself as the face, and this will, in my opinion, Obafemi will probably be the first true face, true African-American black face of the WWE. Like when you think back, you think of The Rock, yeah, but I'm thinking like fully like African, like fully. I think Obafemi will be the new face of the WWE at some point in the next 2 years, and I think that's big.
Yeah, so I'm looking up a definition of Obafemi. This is just from a website I've seen. It says origins and meaning. The name Obafemi is of Yoruba origin, a prominent ethnic group in Nigeria. In the Yoruba language, the name is a compound of two elements: Oba, meaning king or ruler, and Femi, which translates to love me or to be loved. So his name actually is king, ruler. That's what the Oba means, according to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, no wonder they call him ruler, the ruler. And most people probably don't even look in. I haven't looked into it, the meaning of Oba either. So that's good to know, to know, you know. And also another thing I didn't mention is when he made his Royal Rumble debut, Obafemi, the Royal Rumble, get it? It was in Saudi Arabia. And it was just last month, right before the war started. Or actually, when was that? When was this? I can't remember what date the Royal Rumble was, but he was the first entrant in the whole match. Remember, the Royal Rumble is a 30-man match, and each person comes out in like 2 or 3 minute intervals. But they had Obafemi being the first entrant in the match, and he eliminated the first 5 opponents until he was eliminated by the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And then last night, like I said, Obafemi got his revenge essentially on the Beast. And they even symbolically, as I'm showing here, they had Obafemi putting his foot down on the Beast. So there's a huge symbolic nature going on here, like really symbolic. And yeah, I really think this is a big thing. And I think Nigeria will be even more spotlighted over the next couple of years as Obafemi becomes the face part of this as well.
I was just going to point out. Yeah. I just want to shout out Casey Jones because Obafemi, I wasn't familiar at all with that. So I've been taking notes and I appreciate your guys' insight. Fun fact, Casey Jones Astrology says Danny Glover is a Yoruba priest for what it's worth. But
See,
what
I'll say that goes to what I was saying, that Western mystery schools, the African practice that they adopt the most is the Yoruba tradition, which is called Ifa. So it stands to be, I'm not surprised that an African American that's the one they practice. That's, of all the African, there are hundreds of traditions, that's the one that's most practiced by Western, especially in Britain and United States, mystery schools.
The bigger one, Rambo, though, I wanted to, I kind of pinned it on the back end here to make sure that I shared it because I thought, Rambo, you might have some other things to add to this observation from Casey Jones, but not trying to put you on the spot here either. When we were talking about Bam Bam earlier with Myron's comments, Bam Bam carries a club like how Orion carries a club in the world of astrology. So yeah, just thought that was kind of an interesting observation as well. Then again, I can't really elaborate much on that at all, other than I always thought it was like a bone he carries, but maybe it's the same thing.
No,
bone,
club. It's a club, yeah. It's
yeah.
But that goes with what I just talked about too, because in that movie, Project Hail Mary, there's a character in there. The actor's name is Orion, and think about it. We have a guy named Ryan Gosling, like Orion. Ryan Gosling is playing Ryland Grace in the movie. So you got the 2 Rys, and then you got an actor also in the movie named Orion, and he's a Chinese actor. And in the movie, he's playing a guy named XI. How do you say that? Is it Chi? Is it Chi in?
I think I'm pretty sure
you say XI. Because Trump is going to go meet the president of China, whose name is that, right? And in the movie, the guy Orion's playing the same name as the president or the leader of China right now. And the guy is Chinese, but his name is Orion. So I caught onto an Orion pattern with that movie, which I believe also connects to Sirius because the stars of Orion point to Sirius, right? So there's probably something with that as well. But also, Rambo, I just wanted to point this out. Yoruba is a super match to Volcano. So I don't know what that how that might connect, but Yoruba is 82, 28, and 35, like Volcano.
Yeah, 35 is a big number with volcanoes. That's an interesting matchup there. So yeah, that's pointing to Ogun. I want to just I'll read the description of Ogun just to see how similar it is to Hephaestus. So this is from Wikipedia. Ogun is a major Orisha in the Yoruba religion that is also adopted in several other African religions. Ogun is revered as a powerful deity of war, iron, hunting. So think of Orion the Hunter, metalworking, metallurgy, blacksmiths, technology, innovation. I'll read Hephaestus. This is the. I'll read the description of Hephaestus. Hephaestus is the Greek god of artisans, blacksmiths, carpenters, craftsmen, fire, metallurgy, metalworking. You see how it's the same? The only thing that's different is Hephaestus and Vulcan are volcano gods. That's the only thing. I just to read the Vulcan definition. Vulcan. It took me to Star Trek. So Vulcan is both pronounced is the god of fire, including the fire of volcanoes, deserts, metalworking, and the forge in ancient Rome. So you can see how Vulcan, Hephaestus, and Ogun are the exact same architect. And shout out again, Charlie, for pointing out that Ogun fit perfect. And that's Ogun is a Yoruba. So that's why they picked Bam Adebayo on the day of the eruption. All the 43s, 43 at the half, which is a record, 43 free throw attempts, which is a record, 43 field goal attempts. When it was episode 3, this is geological terminology. Episode 43 of Kilauea's eruption on that day. And you saw what Yahoo did. Bam Adebayo erupts for 83 points.
Not sure what happened with codes.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
It's been a big technical glitchy night. But,
yeah, I mean, when you're on the other side of the world, essentially, you know, you get stuff sometimes. But yeah, Myron, anything else on your end? I guess with all the things I've been talking about, that this kind of stuff is so like, you know, I'm like looking up at the surface, so I'm learning a lot about this as I'm a fly on the wall watching you guys talk about it.
That to their stuff. No, I just some of the biblical stuff I do have in mind, but I can wait until to see if Cody has anything more to add to Rambo's piece.
See, this also because Cuba's in the news now, and usually the real reason behind a lot of the conflicts, it has more of an esoteric. There's a hidden motive behind what's actually happening. And I think these spiritual forces are at play here. Yeah. So Cuba is it's a main topic now. So Cuba's outside of Nigeria. Cuba's I think arguably that could be the place where that tradition has continued the most. So this is part of the Spanish slave trade. These are some Yoruba were taken to Cuba, and they had a religion which is mixed. It's a mixture of Catholicism and the West African traditional beliefs. And so that's Santeria. So Santeria it's a combination of Catholicism and traditional West African spirituality, such as the Yoruba tradition of Ifa. And I think with all this going on, I don't think it's coincidence. I think that's part of the reason why the whole Cuba thing is going on as well. That ties in as well. And now and again, this is through the American entertainment industry lens. So, I mean, you have to take it with a grain of salt as far as the lens you're seeing this through. The American entertainment industry. You know how 6'7" is like the big number now? It's literally a word of the year. Well, who made 6'7" popular? It was Skrilla from Philadelphia. And Skrilla, he practices Santeria. And in Santeria, I think he actually has mentioned Ogun as well. I have to look this up. He's mentioned Ogun. This ties into the entertainment industry. This ties into 6'7". It's all connected. The official word of the year in the English language now comes from basically a practitioner of Santeria who they've actually done some videos where he shows he goes to his, I think it's his stepfather or one of his relatives' home in Philadelphia, where he grew up in Kensington, Philadelphia, and they show the different orishas, they call them, and I think Ogun is one of them. So this actually goes into Skrilla, and the whole 6-7 thing as well is connected. Of course, the way they do it, Hollywood has to be more satanic. Everything's satanic with Hollywood. So they put a more satanic spin to it. Yes, there is animal sacrifice involved. And he's holding up this, I think he actually chops a goat's head off, I think, on camera or something. But they put that angle to it. But this ties into the whole 6-7 as well. Because we come from Skrilla. And Skrilla's, this tradition is very impactful in the West, in Britain and the United States. So yeah, it ties right into 6-7 as well.
It's funny that the word of the year is a number.
Yeah, they call it
written out as words. Unreal. Open Up says Skrilla had a song also called Words of Odin.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Ogun, that's it. So yeah,
Ogun.
okay,
Yeah.
I knew there was a connection to Open Up. Oh, thanks. Yeah, so he has made a direct connection to Ogun. So you see how it's all connected now. It's the word of the year in English, which has nothing to do. This is United States. It's become a world phenomenon, I guess, in the English language. This phenomenon takes over. Where does it come from? It comes from a practitioner of. So Santeria is a mixture, but very heavily influenced by this Yoruba tradition, Ogun, who's a fire, basically the same as Hephaestus and Vulcan. He overtakes, so a Yoruba overtakes Kobe Bryant the same day a volcano goes off. And Kobe Bryant was born on Vulcanalia. It all fits in, but look at how all these traditions fit in. You go all the way from African tradition to a Western American tradition. It's NBA, it's geology, it's volcanology. I mean, how do they coordinate it? I mean, did they make the volcano go off? I mean, but it's coordinated with a volcano. It happened on that day. So that's another meaning of the 122. In Gematria, Hephaestus is 122. The Seattle Seahawks just won the Super Bowl, and Jody Allen, she came on as the owner to lift the Lombardi Trophy, and her brother was a co-founder of Microsoft, and he also founded it's a real estate company called Vulcan. Well, now Jody, I guess it's a family thing, but Jody Allen seems to be the matriarch now because she lifted the Lombardi Trophy. They have a company named Vulcan. It's a real estate company, which now she owns. She's the head of. Well, where's Vulcan? It's in Seattle on the 122nd parallel. Vulcan is Hephaestus. Hephaestus is 122. How many? KODI addressed it. He had another angle on 122. But how many points did the Los Angeles Lakers score when Kobe Bryant at the time set the record of 81 points? The Lakers scored 122 points in that game, and that game was played on January 22nd. That's all Hephaestus. Hephaestus is Vulcan. Kobe Bryant was born on Vulcanalia. And that's the 122. So, yeah, so many connections there as well. So Vulcan, so the company Vulcan, I think called Vulcan Capital, is on the 122nd parallel in Seattle. They knew what they're doing when they named it that. Right. Remember, Ogun is a god of technology as well. That's what Vulcan is. That was the founder of Microsoft. Microsoft is about technology. It's not a coincidence. Somebody who founds a company about technology, which is Microsoft Computers, also has a company which he names Vulcan. And it's founded on the 122nd parallel. Because that's where Silicon Valley is, as well as Seattle, is on the 122nd. That's Hephaestus. So there's a book by an author named Adrienne Mayer. She wrote a book called Gods and Robots. In that book, she explains that the ancient Greek philosophers, this is ancient Greece, literally debated AI. They understood in ancient Greece the concept of AI. And just one has to wonder, how long has AI been around? But they actually did debate AI in ancient Greece. She has it in her book, very scholarly with all the references. But 122 is a big number for Hephaestus invention. Ogun is the same archetype. But yeah, that was a good call about. I have to look into that song by Skrilla, which references Ogun. So he's at the heart of all of this.
Yeah, I believe it was Words of Ogun.
Yeah, I have to look into this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to find the. I mean, I'm sure if you just typed in Skrilla Ogun, you would find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if KODI is going to be coming back. Like I said, there wasn't really a section or anything else I really wanted to chat about, other than just getting people's opinions of any observations outside of what I've already shared last week about Arizona, which is a biased opinion, as it always is, having gone to Arizona. But I don't know. We'll see. They haven't done well as a 1 seed. We'll see what happens.
Actually do have some stuff on the symbolism of flight. And I've already talked about flight.
Yeah.
It's been a big issue and how it may play into the NCAAs. And again, BPM, who had the great comments on Discord, he has some great connections to the whole flight theme, which I have some stuff on that.
Yeah, no, that would be fantastic. I do see that you have your screen here still shared. Did you want to?
No, it's there. I actually have the images below this. I'll just scroll down it. So I'm already geared up.
Yeah, I think you just need to get out of the full screen.
Yeah. Seen enough of the lemming for now, but
there you go.
So just real quick, just about the flight theme, because there's been a flight theme. I've talked about flight theme, and this is 2026, which is 226 in numerology, and this is something I've talked about before. Chariots of Fire is 226, and that's going to be big this year. I show you the clip where they had the hearing in Congress, which has had several hearings actually on this, where this is under oath. People give their names and positions and ranks in the various governmental organizations in the United States, who give testimony regarding extraterrestrial craft, very advanced. In some cases, they've recovered bodies, and in some cases, live bodies as well. And there's testimony that there are some live extraterrestrials in captivity now. The United States isn't the only country that's reporting this, but the United States is going through that. So 2026 is a big year of revelation. That's what apocalypse means. It's an unveiling. And this whole aerial theme is part of it. So even Donald Trump talked about releasing UFO files. So you see the Epstein files, it's about revealing things. So Barack Obama said last month, he said, yes, he believes that United States extraterrestrials do exist and that the United States government has the evidence. So Barack Obama came out and said that. And then Trump chastised him for saying that's classified information. He wasn't supposed to say that. So it's a thing. And so, of course, there's, like with the Mars thing and NASA thing, you're going to have a hard time. Like, so how much of this is the truth? Because they're just never straightforward about anything. And I respect anyone who says, I don't believe in any of it. I don't believe in any UFOs at all. I personally think that there are. They actually have recovered them. They do exist. But what they'll do is portray them as a threat to humans. Well, who's the biggest threat to humans? Just look around. It's humans. It's not extraterrestrials. I take my chances with extraterrestrials. Humans are the threat. They want to say that extraterrestrials are a threat. And I think part of the reason they want to do that, there's a natural tendency towards, and just you can call it the age of Aquarius, whatever, to revelation and unveiling, which is what apocalypse means in Greek, apokalypto. And maybe they're just getting out ahead of it. But this will be a big issue, whether people believe in it or not. It's going to be an issue. So 226 is Chariots of Fire. So using Chariots of Fire is related to UFOs, which now you don't use the term UFO. You say UAP, which is unidentified aerial phenomenon. It's from the Bible. It is Elisha, who was a servant of Elijah. Elisha saw chariots of fire in the sky surrounding the Syrian army. But his third eye was open because they couldn't see it, and his servant couldn't see it. But Elisha could, because his third eye was open. He could see beyond the third dimension, and he could see the chariots of fire. And then what Elisha did is he opened the eyes of the Syrian army, which he opened their third eyes. They looked up and they saw the chariots of fire surround all over the sky, and they surrendered immediately. And that's what. So that's about 3-dimensional and 5. When something's in 5D, in 3D you can't see it. I've talked about it with WWE with KODI, how John Cena does the "you can't see me" thing, and he has a door. There's a door symbol, just like the Twilight Zone. What's the door? It's a portal to a higher dimension. Well, you're in a higher dimension, like the 5th dimension. When you're in 3D, you can't see a person. That's what that John Cena thing. That's what I talk about, how deep. I had no idea WWE was this deep. That's what "you can't see me" is about. It ties right into the chariots of fire. Elisha could see beyond 3D. And BPM, shout out to him. He has so many great contributions. He talked about how the lead singer of Three Doors Down and the lead singer of Fifth Dimension died within 4 days of each other. 3 doors, that's 3D. Fifth Dimension, they're spelling it out. 3D 50, and a lot of this has to do with the UAP extraterrestrial thing. With whether you believe it or not, or take it seriously or not, it will come front and center, especially in 226 Chariots of Fire. So the Chariots of Fire for Elijah, he was taken up in a chariot of fire. So this is from 2 Kings chapter 2:11. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire. This is the year of the fire horse in Chinese zodiac. And parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So he went up to heaven in a whirlwind, in a chariot in the sky. So this is what this sounds like, is advanced technology that humans could not comprehend. So you can't say UFO back in those days, UAP. What are you going to say? The only vehicle you had those days was a chariot. And oh, look, there's a chariot in the sky. And if there's jet propulsion, oh, look, there's fire coming from the chariot. That's the only way you can describe it. And then a whirlwind takes them up. What does that sound like? Doesn't that sound like Star Trek? Beam me up, Scotty. That's exactly what they're describing. Or you could say that's what Star Trek, this came before Star Trek. So you could say Star Trek is imitating the narrative in the Bible. Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So that's what Scotty. And who's the famous Scotty? Michael Jordan's teammate. He's Scotty. So this is Nicole Good. This is her license plate, which I talked about. It's 3D. It ends with 3D, which is just something they're coding. But also, what kind of car was she driving? A Pilot. 3D. This is something they're coding, and it's going to become more of a topic. So, yeah. So in general, I've been talking about the flight theme, and this is Martin Brodeur. So you're beamed up to the Starship Enterprise. So I think about Enterprise, rent a car. That's a chariot. It's a chariot. Is related to this. Martin Brodeur, who's the Hall of Fame goaltender for the New Jersey Devils. We just talked about the hero for the U.S. Olympic team. Jack Hughes played the New Jersey Devils, all the devil symbolism, Jack Parsons. Martin Brodeur, he did an Enterprise commercial. Starship Enterprise, it's related. The chariot. Enterprise ensures the chariot. And he ties right into the Jack Parsons thing. Again, he plays the New Jersey Devils. It's the same team as that Jack Hughes plays for. And he wears number 30, which is the same number, which I brought up, that it's further down, but it's the same number that Jack Parsons plays for. Jack Parsons being the goaltender for Providence College. He wears jersey number 30. This isn't that well organized, but I think I do. I have I don't have it here, but Jack Parsons wears jersey number 30. Take my word for it. I've done several decos on Jack Parsons. He's a goaltender for Providence College, which brought my attention in December. Providence College were ranked 17th at the time in December. Next time I checked, they were ranked 7th. Then they were ranked 5th. Now they're 6th going into the tournament. So the college hockey will do their bracket on March 22nd, and they call it the Frozen Four. That's their Final Four. It will be in Las Vegas. I'm just interested to see how Jack Parsons does, since I've talked about him, but it's interesting that Martin Brodeur, who does Enterprise, the Starship Enterprise, where you beam people up, he also wears 30, which is the year that Buzz Aldrin was born in, which ties into Jack Hughes of the USA, the hero who scored the winning goal in the Olympics, because Jack Hughes has a celebrity girlfriend. And his celebrity girlfriend is a musician. She's a Canadian musician. Her name is Tate McRae. Jackie's pretty up there as far as record sales. That's Jack Hughes' girlfriend. Again, he plays the New Jersey Devils as well. And her debut album was called I Used to Think I Could Fly. So that's this flying theme. Like, I used to think I could fly. If you've seen Toy Story, because the Toy Story 5 is coming out this summer, Buzz, who's named after Buzz Aldrin, Buzz Lightyear, he thinks he can fly, and it turns out he can't. It's like MK Ultra. It's all being in his head, pretty much MK Ultra. And he tries to fly. You could say when he's not in his imaginative state, and he falls. It's pretty sad. It's like the saddest. I don't know. Disney likes to traumatize you with like these heart-wrenching.
They really do.
They're heart-wrenching. I mean, when I was a kid, I saw Bambi, and it ruined. I think it's still affecting my entire life. They do that on purpose. I was at a tender age. That I'm watching this cartoon. This deer's mother gets shot. I mean, I think it's affecting me our entire life. I mean, I was traumatized. I don't know what it is with Disney. Well, now we know, but they're not what they say they are. Like some kid-friendly. No, they're not at all. They do these heart-wrenching things. Buzz finds out that he can't fly at all. He tries. He actually falls down the stairwell and lands on the ground. But this is the thing. So he's named after Buzz Aldrin. What are they telling you about Buzz Aldrin then? You know, if he thinks he flew, but didn't really, are they giving you a clue about Buzz Aldrin, who thinks he flew and didn't? I don't know. But so Jack Hughes' girlfriend, Tate McRae, at MC, Moonchild, her debut album is called I Used to Think I Could Fly, which is, and again, BPM, again, I'm shouting him out a lot here. He pointed out that Mariah Carey at the Olympics opening ceremony for the Winter Olympics, she sang the song Volare. And what does that mean in Italian? It means fly. Mariah Carey, MC. Who's the other MC? Marty McFly. Plus, Jack Hughes' girlfriend is McRae, MC Moonchild. Again, shout out to, I guess Cody said he got it from Sean Desad. So I guess Sean Desad pointing out that the MC is Moonchild. I'll give him credit for that one. It's a thing with Donald Trump. So with all the flight, so these are, look at the similarity between these movie posters. This is Rocket Man. And who's the Rocket Man? It's Jack Parsons. This is a movie from CBS streaming on Peacock about Jack Parsons called Strange Angel. You see the poster? This is The Aviator. It's about Howard Hughes. So Jack and Hughes, Jack Parsons, Howard Hughes. I did a decode on that.
By the way, Howard just ended up winning the first game of the first 4 against UMBC in the college basketball tournament. So they have those 4 teams that have a play-in. So Howard just won, beating UMBC. And I never mean to cut you off or interrupt, Rambo, but I think this is a great pause for a quick second, because I just want to reiterate what we talked about with the movie Dogma. Because you've been talking about the New Jersey Devils. You were talking about Beam Me Up, Scotty. Yep. Don't forget about what was the main theme of the movie of Dogma. It was these 2 fallen angels that essentially tried to pull a quick one on God themselves to beam back up to heaven. So think about like Beam Me Up, Scotty. Well, where does this all tie in? Maybe it's more in my era, but there was a movie called Euro Trip back in the day. Do you remember the movie Euro Trip? I wouldn't expect you to.
No, I heard about it, but I never watched it.
I would say more popular than the movie itself was the song written for the movie. And it was called Scotty Doesn't Know.
Oh, wow. Okay. If I hear it, I might find. It'll probably be.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, if you know, I'm not going to pull it up for just copyright reasons, but where this all comes back together, and Rambo, I'm just going to just show once again this slide that we went over when we did the whole Dogma thing. Remember, these two, Matt Damon, like Demon, and Ben Affleck, were the fallen angels. They have to go to where? New Jersey, to essentially walk through the doors. So going back to the 3 doors down, 3D, 4D, 5D of a church in New Jersey. And all I did was point out that that's interesting that these devils are going to New Jersey, home of the New Jersey Devils, tying in with everything you pointed out with Jack Hughes, etc. But Scotty Doesn't Know is it's a song with like a band member. The lead singer is Matt freaking Damon. So when you get a chance, maybe after the stream, just got to throw on like that music video, and it's from the movie Scotty Doesn't Know. But it makes me think of, Beam Me Up Scotty, and this song from Eurotrip of Scotty Doesn't Know, and how it ties right now into Dogma, all about the fallen angels trying to go back to heaven, essentially. So wanted to just throw that in there really quick.
Yeah, so real quick, I'll just I'll get to BPM's observations, because he's shown the aviation theme. So this is a big shout out to Joshua of Decode Numbers. He has a Patreon, Decode Numbers. I'm talking about flight 4819 that flipped upside down, no casualties.
Yes.
In Canada, on Michael Jordan's birthday, on runway 23 last year, 4819, and how several teams ended up with 4819 records. 2 of them I predicted. One almost got there and fell short. The Celtics at 4819, and the Winnipeg Jets, the name Jets. So this is in Toronto. And what Josh had pointed out, this before the game, he saw that in Toronto, this past Sunday, the Raptors, Toronto Raptors, were hosting the Detroit Pistons. And if the Raptors won, which they did, the Pistons go to 4819. So a shout out to Joshua for that one. And this all goes back to flight 4819 on Michael Jordan's birthday in Toronto on runway 23. So BPM made some comments on Discord about the aviation theme and some of the matchups. So he brought up Hofstra, Alabama. And I'm not a prediction here, but you can decide if anyone maybe sees a connection as far as who they think it's pointing to. But Hofstra's playing Alabama. He said first round matchup between Hofstra Pride and Bama Crimson Tide has some rocket flight connections. Hofstra used to be the Flying Dutchman until 2004, and they had that rocket logo. Talk about Jack Parsons, the rocketry. And as far as Alabama, their campus is adjacent to the Cradle of Aviation Museum, Charles Lindbergh Boulevard. Charles Lindbergh is another aviation pioneer. And Alabama is also home of the NASA Marshall Space Flight Center. And Marshall means similar to Martian. So that's a big matchup as far as aviation.
For me, the biggest thing that stands out to me about Alabama is everything we've just been talking about with Bam Adebayo, Bama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that there could be some in the line, like as far as a narrative for Bama. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And July 1st, also remember I brought up Jack Hughes' girlfriend, Tate McRae, the singer. This is actually her birthday, July 1st as well. That's another connection too.
Oh, geez.
It's also Canada Day. July 1st is Canada Day. It's also 1-7. Remember I said how it's a sacred feminine number earlier, 17, 1st July. Diana, Princess Diana was once that birthday as well. And then he brought up, so North Carolina, Michael Jordan's home state. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina is said to be that's where the airplane flight was invented by Orville and Wilbur Wright in Kitty Hawk. So this matchup, he says, is a play on Kitty Hawk. What's a kitty? It's a cat and a hawk. It's the Clemson Tigers. This is the kitty. The Iowa Hawkeyes is the hawk. That's the Kitty Hawk.
Okay. Yeah.
Another thing too is the first 4 games are always in Dayton, Ohio, which is home of the Flyers.
In
And
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. But it's a Dayton. Even Dayton Flyers are not in the tournament, but Dayton is always used for 4 games, for the first 4 games. I guess that's the plan, right? It's in Dayton. Dayton. So it's the home of the Flyers, which is the Flyer team. But look at their record this season that they finished with. This, thanks to BPM, 23-11. What does that remind you of?
Michael Jordan. Yeah. There you go.
That's his racing team. So Michael Jordan, Air Jordan, he has to do with aviation. And there's VCU and Michael Jordan's North Carolina. Both of them have a Ram. This is all BPM. This is they both have the Ram mascots. One is Rodney the Ram. I guess that's for VCU, and then Ramses after the Egyptian pharaohs. There are several pharaohs named Ramses. That's the North Carolina, which is weird. Why is North Carolina? Their logo is a ram. Fordham is a ram. That's the famous Fordham Rams, where Donald Trump went to Fordham. So they have the 2 rams, which are symbols of Aries. Let's see. Okay, I can't see. Well, it's a Michael Jordan connection anyway. So the 23-11 of Michael Jordan, when it was Roddick won for his team the Daytona 500. This is right before the Daytona 500. It was Puka Nacua, who's an NFL wide receiver, who's a Air Jordan athlete. He signed to Air Jordan. He was there. He even celebrated with the team. Here he is at the Daytona with his 23-11 outfit. But he's an NFL player. But who does he play for?
The Rams.
The Rams, and he's a Jordan athlete. So I don't know. Is that a clue for the Rams next season? It's going to be in LA. It's going to be in their Super Bowl will be in the home stadium of the Rams, and the Ram is a symbol of Aries. Aries ruled by Mars. Yeah, 23-11 also Miley Cyrus's birthday. She did the whole Jordan thing. And here it says Charles Lindbergh, who made the first transatlantic flight, was born in Detroit. We just saw Detroit just landed on 4819 record. Well, that's where Lindbergh is from, Detroit. So that's another. His flight was on the Spirit of St. Louis, which left from Long Island, New York. That's where Hofstra's from. Hofstra's from Long Island, New York, who had the rocket symbol. They used to be the Flying Dutchman. If there's a flight connection, Michigan could end up playing St. Louis. That's his prediction in the second round.
Well, and hey, with you just mentioning Long Island University is actually playing Arizona in the first round.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So like for that flight connection with Arizona, space, flight, all that. And I saw a funny meme that were saying that this is the Ice-T matchup. You got Arizona Ice-T versus Long Island Ice-T.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Yeah.
But it's kind of, it's kind of fitting though with your fire and ice connections.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ice-T.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a real quick. That was it. So this is the decode I did. I actually made this one available for free. So even if you're not, you have to give us some free content, even if you're not subscribed. This full decode 4819. Again, shout out to the great. I really appreciate the patrons and their contributions. BPM Joshua has kept an eye on the 4819, and there's more on this 4819 decode. It's a written decode, but you'll see it could manifest potentially elsewhere. But yeah, so that's real quick the flight theme and how it ties into the tournament. Yeah, so many connections. I could go on for days and days with the connections.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we could just have this be an ongoing stream forever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people just go in and out. Cut in. If you need to go, you just exit out and then come back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, I mean, we are starting to flirt with that 3-hour mark, and I'm still trying to catch up on some rest, being in Vegas the last couple of days for my birthday weekend. So I just want to shout out everybody in the Patreon, everybody in the chat, people that have reached out, wish me a happy birthday, yourself included. Rambo, meant so much. I'll just throw in that one observation that you weren't really thinking about, but I thought it was funny that the Oscars ended up paying tribute to the recent death of Rob Reiner, who died by stabbing, and they did it on the death anniversary by stabbing of Julius Caesar on March 15th on Sunday. You know, so it's like that. There's always like we could probably do a whole stream on that. You know, but beyond that, Rambo, I mean, what was there any kind of, I don't know, final thoughts, things you're looking at? The really the last thing I want to ask you, Rambo, you know what, while we're streaming here is, have you had a chance to look at the bracket? You know, you and I did a live stream 2 years ago now, pretty much on the doorstep of, I think it was actually on Selection Sunday that year. And the theme of that whole year was all about the eclipse, right? And we were able to pretty much nail it, not by the exact team in that moment, but Rambo, shout out to you. You were very confident that it was like, whoever ends up in the final four, those teams will all be directly aligned with the eclipse. And sure enough, right? I don't even need to rattle them off. My point is, I mean, with what's going on with Iran and Bam Adebayo and, you know, just there's so many news stories going on. I was just curious if there's anything that just top of mind, you go, well, you know, I don't know. Maybe this tournament might be about this theme or that theme. Not trying to put you on the spot. I was just curious before we close out.
Yeah, to be honest, I have not really looked at the NCAA basketball.
Okay.
I mean, I see some of these flight teams, and that's actually thanks to primarily BPM and other patrons, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I haven't really looked at the NCAA tournament. I still got a lot on the Jack Parsons theme, and I still have to do. Remember last week I gave an intro to Jack Fell Down and Broke His Crown.
Mm-hmm.
It's titled Jack Fell Down. Well, I still haven't. I have all the audio already. I just have to put the images to it. I put out the intro, so I got to finish that. And there's so much more to the Jack Parsons, and Cody's done a great job making the Crowley connections, how it connects to the. So Cody and Crowley and Parsons. There's so many more things connected. Even the Bam Adebayo performance has opened up a bunch of doors of the volcano symbolism and how that ties into all these different cultures and all different areas of life. There's so much more there, which I tie into Lord of the Rings. And I have so much more in that. There's some coding on just the gray theme, which there could be NBA implications there. Because it remains to be seen what Jack Parsons does with Providence College. It remains to be seen there. That's the one thing I'm looking at. I'm not predicting. I'm just looking. Jack Parsons, that name is undeniable significance. So those are the things I'm looking at now, working on. But I haven't really, to be honest, looked at, because I'm not a sports prediction site anyway.
Right. No. Of course. But we always appreciate just kind of the things that you're keeping an eye out for. And as we know, sports does coincide very much with a lot of the esoteric news stories that are out in the world. And let's not forget, I mean, a week from now, there could be another massive story that can really seem fitting for what this tournament could be about, right? I mean, the next several days is going to be the busiest time of this tournament, but let's not forget that on March 22nd, 2021, you had the death of Elgin Baylor dying at 86 years old, and then Baylor goes on to win the championship with 86 points. So like these things are going to happen as we get closer to that championship game. I feel confident there's going to be a death or another story or something that's going to go down in the coming weeks where I certainly will be leaning in and being like, okay, so why is this coming out when it is, but no, I appreciate it. I mean, once again, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I wasn't necessarily expecting you to have anything top of mind. I just thought I would ask before we wrap up.
Yeah. So the big thing with the March Madness is the upsets.
Mm-hmm.
The small teams never make it to the Final Four, but on the road to the Final Four, there's always that big upset. And I guess that's the jackpot if anyone can predict that big upset. There's always that one, major upset. Cinderella game.
Yeah, and it's funny we're saying that on St. Patrick's Day, which the colors of St. Patrick's Day are primarily green and yellow, right? The underdog, right? There's always upsets. There's always an underdog theme. So, keep an eye out on that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah, there's a huge underdog. It's not going to happen. Duke is number 1. They're playing number 16.
Siena, I think it was.
Yeah, Siena, yeah. Not only are they green and yellow, but their logo mascot is a dog.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. I haven't looked into that.
Yeah, it's a dog. In fact, BPM brought it up. Yeah, it's a dog, and they do wear green and yellow. But yeah, that would be wow. It's unlikely, but yeah, a green and yellow and a dog, and there's 16 against number 1 Duke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just things to think about. I mean, even with that, for me, it's like, there's no value. I don't even think sports books would even let you bet on Duke to just win outright. Even if they do, they're minus like 20,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just doesn't even make any sense. But just with the color themes and what you just pointed out, why not take Siena to cover? It's possible.
Yeah. It's been a while for the green and yellow upsets. Like, I don't know if
they moved on to something else.
Yeah. It was a thing for a while. They might have moved on from it. I don't know, but it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah. But still, just things to think about, you guys. Yeah. So Rambo, I'll just close out first by just thanking you, Rambo, and hopefully KODI's good. It always gets late, as we go deeper into the night. And then also shout out to Myron, you guys. He got game. The Easer 3s _ at the end. You guys can find him on Instagram. Make sure that you guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to Decoding with Cody 589 on YouTube. Coding and Cody are with K's instead of C's. And if you guys are ever looking to financially support him, you guys can find his link at buymeacoffee.com / Decoding with Cody. My name is AJ Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's in Ball. You guys can find my work here where we're streaming tonight on YouTube, as well as on Instagram, same handle, no different spelling. But I also have a handful of books at this point, maybe a little more than that. If you guys are interested in the work, you guys can email me at wordplaybook, 3 O's in book @gmail.com. And lastly, I'll pass it off to you, Rambo, for final closing comments and just final reminder for everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, thanks again. And even though KODI's not here, Myra's not here, thank them. Amazing contributions was made for a great show. I learned from both of them. And thank you as well. As always, this is your show. You're the one who brings everything together here. And this is where I can be found. Patreon.com / The Truth Codes. So that 4819 decode, it's a written decode. It's available for free. There's some free content. And yeah, I went over what I'm working on. I'm also on Instagram.com, so that Mars Lemming decode, that's on Instagram. I just put it up today, and I'll put other posts up there. Instagram.com / The Truth Code.
Yeah, I've said it every week, you guys. No joke. This is $5 a month for all of Rambo's content. And now that I think about it, I always ask, the fam, give Rambo a shot. $5 a month. Throw it his way for 1 month, and I promise you won't regret it. But let's not forget that Rambo also puts out free content on the Patreon as well. So just go sign up for the free tier and just see what he puts out wherever he sees fit. So please make sure to give Rambo the love and the support that he deserves. And thank you, Akuda, for just the friendly reminder, you guys. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the like button on your way out, and please make sure to hit the subscribe as well. That way you guys can be notified weekly when we do these streams. And final shout out to you, Rambo, as well as also huge contributions as always to the chat. You guys make this stream as much as we make this stream, right? It's a beautiful collab every Tuesday, like I said, the best night of the week. And without further ado, we'll close it out there. and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care. See you next week.
Until the next one. Peace, ballers.